Hello friends, Elsie here to do your reading. It is the sneak peek for the week. How you doing? Let's get it done, friends. I hope you're well. It's actually for the next 7 days. I always call it the sneak peek for the week because it used to always come out on a Monday, but now it comes out during the week sometime. And it's always going to be for the next 7 days whenever you find it. If you find it today, tomorrow, or next year. Next week, it's going to be for the next 7 days. So how does it go? I've got 12 decks to my left. I'm going to read from all of them a little bit, a couple minutes from each for each sign of the Zodiac. And we'll find out what's coming up for you possibly in the next 7 days. Please remember, this is a general reading. It may or may not resonate with you. It is simply just a quick sneak peek at what could be coming up for you. So if you are interested in a private reading, please take a look at the pinned comment. There's a pinned comment under every single video that I upload, and all the information you need is there if you want to know what the decks are that I'm using, and if you want to get a private reading. Just a point of interest, I am caught up at this time. As I lay these cards today, I'm caught up, and so the next bunch of you that come along to make me busy, yeah, that would be great. Thank you so much for all the ways that you've been loving me in that way, booking your readings. I really have been loving getting to know you. Thanks for that. All right, Aries, I think that's all I got to tell you. Let's get to it. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. This is going to be for the next 7 days, Aries. Let's find out what's going on with the fire family. Tell me about Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Please keep in mind, I'm an energy reader, not an astrologer. I read by energy, by feel, by intuition, and psychic energy. Tell me about Aries. Tell me about Aries. Okay, Aries, I was shuffling a little bit longer. You notice I was shuffling a little bit longer because I felt something and I was trying to see it in my third eye. I was trying to get Charlie to show me what was making me a little bit nervous, like I had a little bit of a feeling here, and I was trying to figure out what it was. Okay, so something's about to shift or change. That's what it is, and it's without warning. So it feels like it's going to be something that's going to be bold and big. What is that? Hang on, I'm already getting a song. What? Oh, okay, that's what it is. What I'm hearing, Aries, is keep your castle, keep your king. I got fire in a goddamn swing. That's what I'm hearing. You know who that is? That's Esme Rose. What is the name of the song? It's called Fuck Being a Princess, I'd Rather Be a Witch. That's what it's called. Okay. Woo, somebody's got a goddamn swing. All right, let's find out what's going on. We've got the Four of Cups. I feel like something is coming at you that is going to pull you right out of your comfort zone. I don't think you're going to like it. I think you're going to want to reject it, but I feel like you're going to be forced to stand up as the Queen of Wands and take care of business. That's what the Queen of Wands would do, whether you are the feminine, the masculine, the man, or the woman. It might have to do with your money. You might be protecting your legacy. Something might be shifting that you're not in line with. I'm going to say that it feels like it's shifting for your own good. It feels like something may have been stagnant, because that's what the Four of Cups is. It is stability of the emotional energy, but listen, it's stable because you're in your own little la la land. You're in your own little world, a place where nobody can touch you, which is your comfort zone. So I feel like something is shifting here. And I feel like you don't want to be told what to do. And I mean, you never do, Aries. But I'm just saying, from the words that I got from that song, somebody here is like, don't test me. Don't test me. Don't test my patience, or you're going to see that I got a swing. Tell me what is going on with this tower. Holy man, that's a way to open up the reading. Aries, I can always count on you. What's going on here? All right. So I feel like this is a situation where you are kind of in this place of should I, shouldn't I? I'm not really sure. Maybe I should think about that for a little bit. It feels like you were in a place where you wanted to step forward and make a big, bold move, but you were sort of in your head as to how to do it. I'm not sure. Maybe I need to think about this a little bit more, stuck in your head. And then, boom, there we go. The Page of Wands shows up and says, let's go do it. And guess what? The Page of Wands is a little bit reckless. Because the Page of Wands is a child, right? Page of Wands is the one that is throwing their wand in the air and saying, I'm going to go wherever the wand falls. And so it's a little bit of reckless energy. I'm going to say somebody provoked you, Aries. I don't think that you just got up and started swinging. I'm just going to say, I feel like you feel that maybe your legacy, your money, your future is at risk. And I feel like I feel like you were going to make this change, but the universe said, no more waiting. Get out of that Eight of Swords. You have to do it right now. And I think that's what the Page of Wands is here. We've got the Six of Wands. Look, whatever I am talking about, and it feels like something is on the verge of collapse. And when I say something's on the verge of collapse, it's like something you waited too long to address because you didn't want to fight or argue or ruffle any feathers. But I feel like the Tower shows up and says, now. You got to do it now. The Tower is always there for, I always like to say that the Tower is there because we need it to be. It's there exactly at the right time, like the universe. It's all timed in the right way. I feel like this was supposed to get a rise out of you to make you remember your fire and who's in charge. And I think who's in charge is you. So it does feel like that there was something here that you were holding back from because you didn't want to cause an argument or a fight. Could be in the workplace, could be in a relationship. This is a long-term relationship, or it could have to do with your money, your health, your wealth, whatever it is. I feel like with the Six of Wands that I feel it's almost like the Six of Wands is giving me this energy of, look, I got nothing left to lose. I'm coming out of a dark night of the soul. And I've been through the worst of it. So give me the Tower. I don't really care. It feels like you're sort of in this energy of, bring it. Come at me, bro. Let's do it. Let's do it right now. Tell me what's going on here. We've got the Two of Wands. You were about to make this decision anyway. It's a decision that has to do with this Ten of Pentacles, which is your long-term future. It has to do with a big decision. And, you know, all that the Tower did was demanded that you pay attention to it right now. I think you had planned on doing it, but I think that you were going to do it a little more, with a little less fanfare than the Tower. I think that you were going to take care of it the way you were going to take care of it on your own. But I want to say that the universe realized that you had already made a decision. You just didn't know how to take action. Because the Two of Wands is being stuck there. Having the plan, having gone over all the details, kind of knowing what I'm going to do. But the third wand isn't here yet. I'm not taking action. But guess what? The Page of Wands shows up and says, we got to take action because the Tower just fell. The Wheel of Fortune is here. I don't think this is anything bad, but I'm going to say it's going to cause a ruckus because when the Tower falls, it's a complete shit show, right? So everything is out of your control for a moment until you stand up and say, nope, this is the way it's going to go down. I'm taking control of this because I'm the one on the throne. So I feel like this, the Wheel of Fortune is the expansion. So it feels like you could no longer hold something together. It expanded and broke the box or broke the mold or broke the bottle, whatever it is. It feels like water freezing in a plastic bottle. It broke it open. The wheel is here and it feels like this change was necessary. I think you already had the plan in place, I'm going to say. And I feel like, yeah, it feels like you've got nothing to lose here. We got 6, we got 2 more, which is 8, and 1 in the hand of the page, which is 9. That's 9 wands. You're in this place of bringing the 10th wand. You guys want to go? Let's go. I'll bring the 10th wand and I will drop this for everybody, but I'm going to drop it the way I'm going to drop it, which might be with a goddamn swing. I'm just going to say, no violence, people. And we've got the Strength card. So I think that you've held back as long as you can. I think the universe is forcing your hand, Aries. Universe is forcing your hand and saying, look, now's the time for change. This is destiny. Things are expanding and it's time you stopped holding back. You gotta let the beast go. You gotta let the lion take care of what it needs to take care of. So I think that you were trying to tame the inner beast, but I think that the universe is like, nah, brah, you are the inner beast. Let it rip. Let it go. Tell me what the outcome is. I don't know what this is. Look, the 10 of Pentacles is really looking at me like this is long-term relationships, something to do with your health. So maybe it's like, okay, enough of this. Enough putting bad calories in my body. It's time to just get really serious about it. Or it has to do with your longevity or your money or your job. It's a big shift, a really big shift. And I think that you were going to do it anyway, but the universe is like, nope. Now is the time. Now is the destiny. It's the moment of alchemy. Get up and do it. Tell me what the outcome is. We've got the Four of Wands in the reverse. I mean, for some of you, it does feel like this is possibly you standing up in the middle of your long-term relationship and saying, no, that was the last word out of your mouth. I'm not taking it anymore. I feel like somebody here is figuring out that they just should have dealt with this a long time ago. The Four of Wands in the reverse is telling me this is no fun anymore. There's no celebration here. It feels like the Four of Wands is breaking down. When it's in the reverse for me, it's like something is going wrong, or I'm done here. I'm done. I'm moving out. I'm going to sell the house. The Five of Swords is here. Again, we've got fights, arguments, and we've come to a place that I feel you have come to a place that you're no longer worried about the fundamental differences. You're now taking your position as the Queen of Wands and saying, come on, let's talk about it then. You wanted it. You've been poking the bear for this long. Then this is what we're going to do. Let's talk about it right now. So it feels like within the next 7 days, something's going down. But I think you're already prepared for it. I'm going to say you've been here in the Eight of Swords, listening to the rhetoric, listening to the issue going on in the workplace, listening, it feels like something that's been coming for a while and you've been trying to think about how to take care of it. I think the Four of Swords is telling me that this will heal. It feels like the Five of Swords is a fundamental difference or an argument or a fight about something that used to be stable. It doesn't have to be a home. It used to be stable. I used to be in line with whatever was going on here. It used to be stable. But as soon as I open my mouth, that's it. So the Four of Swords, I feel, is healing. I think that this tower is necessary to break it all open so we can heal it. Tell me what's around the corner for Aries. Yikes. Justice. Look, it all falls apart so it can fall back together again, my friend. I think that justice is here to say this has to happen so something here can be restored. It's that you just didn't see what a state it was in, or that you had left it too long. It feels like things will come back into harmony and balance. This could be a legal thing that's busting open. For some of you, it doesn't have to be for all of you. We've got the Three of Swords. And we've got the Eight of Wands. Look, it's disappointing. For some of you, it is heartbreaking, but I think it finally gives momentum and velocity. It finally moves things forward. I think that things were stagnant or stuck for a really long time, and things finally move forward. So I think that you were living in a situation, whether it's time, effort, energy, home, work, health, a relationship, it feels like you were in a place where you felt like you had to watch your back. You had to protect yourself. You had to block certain things. You had to block words. You had to block actions. And it feels like you no longer have to do that. I think you can finally put down your Seven Wands and move forward. It feels like you were, there you go. There's Aries energy. It feels like it's time. It's time for you just to stand up and say, I gotta go. This is enough of this stuff. That's what it feels like, my friend. Oh my gosh, that woke me up. Okay. We've got Leo. Yes, we do. We've got Sagittarius, of course. More Sag, but we've got also Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo. Look, I think you took this as long as you could. I think that you were waiting and waiting and waiting, and you didn't want things to change. But it had to change. We've got Aries energy, Leo, Libra. We've got Virgo energy. We've got Mars. I don't know where Mars is right now. Could be Capricorn. I'm not sure. But we've got Mars. The Taurus is Scorpio energy. We've got the Queen. There we are, right? That's your energy. Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. And looks like we've got some Gemini energy here as well. All right. Wow. Let's find out what's going on with you, Taurus. It's likely to be a little quieter with you. You don't blow things up. Tell me about Taurus, my bull gang. How are you, friends? Let's find out what's going on with you. This is for the next 7 days, Taurus. I do read for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Taurus, if you didn't know, I do this reading weekly, at least once sometime in the week for you. Tell me about Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Taurus. What do we need to know? Tell me what's going on. I feel like shaking. Like it feels... I'm not shaking. Understand? Look, I'm good. But it feels like shakeups. It feels like this is a week of shakeups. So tell me what's going on with Taurus then. I think that because Aries maybe just called me out. All right, because I'm at an Aries Taurus cusp. Tell me about Taurus. Taurus, we start you off with the 8 of Pentacles. Why is that? We have the King of Cups. What are you working on under the surface here? It feels like whatever you're doing, whatever you're working on, whether it's time, effort, energy, money, work, health, whatever it is, working on yourself, working on work, working on something, you're doing it under the surface. It feels like you're not telling anybody, you're not showing anybody that you're working on something here. You may reveal it. We've got the 4 of Cups in the reverse, which is vulnerability. You may reveal it a little bit. Tell me more about this. We've got the Page of Swords. Interesting. So you're learning something. It feels like somebody here went back to school, or you've learned something new, a new skill. Maybe you're trying something new. Look, you don't have to have all kinds of education to be a writer. You can write about life experience, right? Same thing when it comes to anything, really. I mean, it's good to have the education. You can hit the ground running, but sometimes you got to learn a lot of lessons before you can get whatever it needs to get done, before you can put pen to paper or whatever the situation is. It feels like, I feel like somebody here's been working on trying to feel vulnerable emotionally. That's what it looks like. And maybe you've been the person who's been shut off or shut down, or maybe very stoic on the surface. And that's really a Taurus trait as well. It doesn't just belong to the King of Cups, doesn't just belong to Scorpio. Taurus can be known for being very stoic on the surface as well. And so I feel like you are feeling like maybe I need to show somebody a little more feeling. It feels like you are watching someone or observing someone, and maybe they're not giving you the energy or the emotional energy that you want. And it could very well be because you don't notice that you've got on the stoic face. It could be that. Tell me what the 8 of Pentacles is here. We've got the King of Wands. Yeah, I think you've been through a few things. I think that's what the King of Wands is telling me. We've got the Knight of Wands. You've had to be brave. That's why you've got this. It's not a stoic face, it's a brave face, is what it is. I feel whoever I'm connecting to here is someone who's had to walk through life with a brave face. Especially if probably in the last 8 years. Taurus, you've had enough over the last 8 years. We've got the 8 of Wands. So we've got 8, 9, 10 Wands here. I feel like you are possibly figuring something out or learning something new, maybe learning something new about yourself, and that is how to be vulnerable, emotionally vulnerable with a person in a situation, or maybe even in the workplace, or whatever it is that you're working on, observing, because this is a student, I always see this as someone going to school, that you're trying to work on being a little more vulnerable with showing it to people, which can account for something you're doing creatively, right? And that's what all these wands are. They're creative energies. So something that you've been trying to be brave about, something you've been working on or pushing forward with. It feels like you are possibly writing about wisdom, writing about feelings that have been under the surface. It feels like you're about to be vulnerable about what's been going on under the surface, but first you want to get it organized. You want to get enough information. The 8 of Wands is here. Something here is about to take off, and I think it's because of you being brave. That's what it feels like. It feels like a brave, fiery energy. You're like, okay, that's it. I'm just going to show people, and whatever they're going to say, they're going to say. It does feel like it has something to do with you coming through, excuse me, with you coming through a lot of hardship in your life, because you don't get to be the King of Wands because life was easy. You get to be the King of Wands because you're resilient, which means you've fallen down 6 times and got up 7. So it feels like you've had to be brave. And it does feel like you're about to divulge that, or the reason that you became someone who wasn't very emotionally vulnerable is because of all of this hardship that has gone on around you. But I think you're ready to learn to drop it, to move forward from this in a brave way. So it feels like, and I want to say it's for a purpose. It almost feels like it's for a purpose. You're doing it for a reason. And not just because one day you wake up and say, oh, I should be more vulnerable. I think it's because there is somebody involved in your life that you want to be more vulnerable with. It could be a friend. It could be somebody that you're romantically interested in. We've got the 3 of Wands. And we've got the 9 of Swords. Yeah, this makes you a little bit nervous. Look, I feel like you carry a lot of I'm going to say wisdom and knowledge. You carry around a lot of wisdom and knowledge, and those things have brought you to this place where you are the energy of the King of Cups and the King of Wands. You have wisdom. And so I feel like you've learned to keep your cards close to your chest, Taurus, because you have been hurt whenever you have shown, whenever you've been vulnerable emotionally, you've been hurt. I feel like this is a lesson that you've learned, and so you've learned to carry it around quietly with you. I feel like this is what you're working on. I feel like right now you're probably working on being vulnerable about something, someone, a situation, but it feels like whatever you're about to do next requires vulnerability. So I think that you've realized that you've been carrying this observational part of you around too long, which means that I think that you get into a group of people, and maybe unless you're a fire sign rising or in the moon, you might just be the one who observes. I like to be the observer, to be honest. I am a Taurus sun, by the way, and the Three of Wands is here. I feel like this is happening in the future for you, Taurus, that it's almost like you go through this contemplation, right? You can see this king is like, right? Kind of looks like the King of Wands. And so it feels like it's making you feel a little nervous, but you know this is something that you've got to do for the future, and you've got to just finally unload it. I think you're just going to drop whatever you've been carrying that's been heavy. What have you been carrying? You're not a very good decision maker. Or if you're a good decision maker, because being slow at making decisions and being a good decision maker are two different things. I feel like you're hesitant when it comes to making decisions. So you do it slow because you are a fixed sign, and the fixed signs do move slower at decision making. But I feel like this is the reason that you are a slow decision maker is not just because you're a Taurus. Because look, I'm a Sag rising and I can make decisions. I love change. I absolutely love change. But I think somebody here is not used to making decisions that will change their path. I think you're nervous about a decision that is coming up, but you know you've got to feel your feelings in order to make the decision, which means you're going to have to show your feelings. This feels like it's a friendship or a love ship. You know you're going to have to show your emotions vulnerable. You're going to have to be vulnerable, or this isn't going to work. But I feel like it's hard for you because you've been hurt so many times, and your wisdom is don't show it on the surface. But I feel like you're about to be brave so things can move forward. Tell me what is in the outcome. Healing. Good. I like it. So it feels like you have decided that you are going to heal the self. We've got the Eight of Cups. Now, being detached and being emotionally unavailable are two separate things. You can still be detached and be vulnerable. I feel like you are coming to the realization that through healing, I can be detached from the outcome. I can be detached from my feelings, which means I don't get overly emotional if it doesn't work out the way I want it to. But I can still be vulnerable. Tell me what the outcome is. We've got the Two of Cups. It does look like it is something to do with someone that you're ready to be vulnerable and share your emotions with. So that could be a deep bonded friendship or a deep bonded romantic relationship. We have the 8 and the 2 here, which is 10. I feel like for the longest time you're like, meh, I don't care about relationships. But I think you've met somebody now and you're feeling a little bit vulnerable and emotional. Tell me what's around the corner for Taurus. We got the Fool. There it is. We got the 6 of Wands and the 7 of Swords. I feel like you're trying to keep something under the surface. You're trying to hold back. I don't feel you're being deceitful. I feel that it's concealment. I feel like what you're trying to conceal is that you're a fighter, that you've gone through a dark night of the soul, and that you do need to have a win. It's like you don't want to take the leap if you can't have the win. You don't want to look like, excuse me, you don't want to look like somebody who is a fool. You don't want to look a fool. And so I feel like you're uncertain as to whether this is going to work, but what's building is excitement and anticipation. So I feel like you have decided that you want the win, but you know that in order to win, you can't keep this concealed any longer, that you're going to make an investment. There's a decision process here that's really tough, and you are making a big, bold move, which is going to change everything. I don't know what this is, Taurus. You probably will, but it seems like when you make the big, bold move, everything changes. Your whole life changes. The whole flavor theme of 2026 is going to change for you once you make this difficult decision. It might be taking this door or instead of that door. We've got 2 of Wands here. Feels like you've done a lot of research on something, and now you're about to make some sort of decision that's about to change everything. We've got Virgo. We've got Gemini energy. We've got more Virgo. We've got Aquarius and Leo. We've got Sagittarius a couple times. We've got Aries. Sagittarius again, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, Virgo. We've got Cancer energy, Pisces, and Libra a couple of times. All right, Gemini. Tell me what's going on for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter in the next 7 days. Tell me about Gemini. Tell me about Gemini. The next 7 days, we have the Empress, Gemini. Why is the Empress here? We have the Four of Pentacles. Got the Ten of Wands. You're holding back from somebody here, and it feels pretty heavy. It might be because you're carrying around some burdens, some financial burdens. Could be that. And then we have the Queen of Cups. Yeah, it feels like you are holding back from the Empress because you have some sort of financial burdens. You know, when you're dealing with an Empress, sometimes you feel like you got to be perfect, right? I'm not talking about whether they're masculine, feminine, man or a woman. You can be a man or a woman, be feminine or masculine. Empress. I feel as though this person, to you anyway, from the outside looking in, the Empress, you see this person as an Empress, someone who's solid, someone who's grounded, someone you've got to be careful with because this is someone who's very psychic, kind of knowledgeable, very smart, independent. It feels like you're dealing with someone who I feel that you are not perfect for. Nobody needs you in perfection. But I know that in your Gemini brain, you feel like you've got to be perfect. I feel like you have some deep feelings for someone that you've been holding back. Also, and I think it's because it's a worth thing for you. You see this person as having a higher worth than you, is what it feels like. And I don't mean that you think badly of yourself, but I think that you look at them and say, you know, their life looks perfect from the outside in. This person doesn't really need me. What can I bring to the relationship? Now, when you're dealing with an Empress, whether the Empress is feminine or masculine, you know you have to bring something you can add that isn't finances, that isn't stability, that isn't security. You have to actually be a whole person, and you have to be able to add to the life of the Empress because the Empress can supply everything that he or she needs, right? Tell me about the Empress, please. We've got the Fool. So I feel like there is sort of this exhilarating feeling of, I want to take a leap. I think that you would see that as an accomplishment. You would see that as bridging the past to the future. It feels like a big leap. It feels like a big bridge to cross. And it feels like you are excited to do that, but there's hesitation here. The Two of Pentacles. It makes me feel like you feel either you work too much or how would I exactly fit the Empress into my life? You don't entertain an Empress and then not make time for them, right? It feels like you're kind of trying to make a decision which is in the 3D. This is not in your mind. This is not energetic. You're not making plans. I think you know you want to do it because the Fool is here, but it also feels like you have to make this decision, and it feels like a very emotionally driven or tumultuous decision to make. The Eight of Swords, that's exactly where you go when you have to make a decision and you're not really sure what to do. I think it's probably the emotions, the very deep emotion that you have for this person that's weighing heavy on you. And I don't think that you want to lose this. So I feel like you're really holding on tight or holding on to hope, that holding on to the emotions, but it also feels like a hold back, like you're holding yourself back and not being very vulnerable because you are carrying some sort of financial or emotional burden with you at this time. The Eight of Swords tells me you feel like your hands are tied. There's nothing I can do from here. I can't make this decision because it's not clear to me as to how I can add to the life of the Empress. We do have the King of Cups, so you're keeping it to yourself. I feel like it's things are tumultuous under the surface, but you're keeping it to yourself. The Queen of Cups and the King of Cups are here. They're very close, and it feels like we are mirroring each other. We do have the Knight of Cups. There are romantic feelings here. And we have the Queen of Pentacles. So I feel like when you get into the presence of the Empress that you feel very grounded. You feel like everything is going to be fine. That is sort of the energy that the Empress brings, or the Queen of Pentacles, right? Queen of Pentacles is somebody who is in their pre-Empress energy, but it's also someone who's very grounded, moves slow, sturdy. It's okay. They're patient. They're practical. This isn't someone that you need to take for a $200 dinner on the first date. They're very practical. They would love a romantic picnic. You know what I mean? So this person loves nature, loves animals. Like they're very practical. And so although they like beautiful things, this person just wants to see you put in effort. It's not necessarily that it has to cost you $1,000 for the evening. They just want to see you put in effort, time, energy. They want to know that you really thought about it. So I feel like I'm going to say that there is emotional feelings here, and they're tumultuous. I feel like you're trying to keep yourself sturdy and stable in all of the waves that are crashing in here. It feels like you are not showing your feelings on the surface at this time, even though there are deep romantic feelings here. I think you're waiting for the moment that feels right. And I think that that's always the right way to do it. If you feel nervous about it, it's not the time. If you feel like things are going to fall in if you say a word, it is not the time. You need to wait for the moment of temperance, that moment of alchemy where you feel solid, you feel healed, you feel like water and fire have come together and made something very tepid, right? It's not too hot, it's not too cold. So it feels like you're supposed to wait for the universe to tap you on the shoulder and say, it's go time. So I feel like you feel really good in somebody's presence here, that they make you feel like everything's going to be fine. Tell me about the outcome here. We got the Emperor. There we go. We've got the Ten of Swords. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. Oftentimes what happens with the Empress is when they come in touch with somebody who doesn't maybe necessarily see their own worth or believe in themselves, just being, getting to know the Empress is your hype man or your hype woman, right? That's the person who's going to hype you. I feel like this person is, thank you for the hype, by the way, if that's what you're doing today, being here watching. The Emperor here, I feel like, it feels like you're like, ready to step into your Emperor energy, but you're not quite sure how to do that. I feel like meeting the Empress is making you step up, making you really look at yourself, taking one last look at yourself, at all the parts of you and saying, yeah, I am worth it. I'm worth being the vibrational match to the Empress. And so I feel like this Ten of Swords is you letting go of the reassessment phase. Letting go of, am I enough? Should I look at that? Maybe I missed that corner. Maybe I missed that analytic. Maybe I missed last week's paycheck. Like it feels like somebody here has decided to let go of the reassessment phase and maybe take a leap of faith, right? We're looking at the Fool here. Feeling like I can do it. I can do it. It's exhilarating. I'm going to take the leap. And although there could be obstacles in my way, I'm just going to give it a shot. What's around the corner? There it is, my friend. You are going for it. So it does feel like you are deciding to be brave, to go for it here. The Page of Pentacles is in the reverse. And I think it is because you're not really sure how to do it. You're not really sure what happens from here because maybe you've never dated an Empress before. It feels like I'm not really sure how much time, effort, or energy I'm supposed to put in at the beginning. What will he or she appreciate? I'm not sure how much time, effort, or energy I have to give, but I do know that I want to pursue my fire side of me. The wisdom of my fire is saying, you better go snap up that Empress before somebody else does. There we go. The King of Pentacles is here. Look, I feel like you're matching in emotional mirroring. I feel like you're matching financially. Look, if you're the one who thinks that you have to keep reassessing your time, effort, energy, finances, whatever this is, the Seven of Pentacles, I feel like you work hard. I feel like the King of Pentacles is Taurus energy. People call Taurus lazy. I'm telling you, Taurus is not lazy. Might depend whatever decan you're born in. But I can tell you that the King of Pentacles is not someone who is afraid of the hustle. Someone who's the King of Pentacles is never afraid of hard work. So I feel like you two match each other in terms of the energy that you bring as well. You're both willing to move slowly. You're both willing to take your time. I think you love beautiful things as well as this other person loving beautiful things. So I think first date's not going to be a problem for you. But it does feel like it's time to do it. I think that you have to be brave with your fire and push forward And the Emperor is always going to be the one who steps forward. So whoever you are in the masculine leaning energy, it feels like, whether you're a woman or a man. And you're the one that needs to do the pursuing, because the Empress will never, ever pursue you. We've got Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We've got Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, more Sagittarius, more Capricorn. We've got Pisces, Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. Libra and Taurus. We've got more Sagittarius energy. Look, there's lots of excitement around this. Lots of Sagittarius energy, which is the energy of pursuit. We have more Aries energy, and more Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. Oh, look at that. You are going to bring everything into balance, friend. You are going to have harmony. I just feel like first you must be brave. All right, Cancer. Let's find out what's going on for Cancer. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter for the next 7 days. Tell me about Cancer. Tell me about Cancer. What's coming up in the next 7 days for Cancer? We have the Star. We have the Devil. We have the Ace of Swords. I just, when I put down this card, I got silent for a moment because, first of all, I thought you were hopeful, and then the Devil said, nah. That's what I heard, nah. I feel like you're waiting for communication, or you want to communicate with somebody, or you're hopeful to get communication from somebody here, but I think the Devil's on your shoulder saying, nah, they don't want to talk to you. What are you talking about? You're not smart enough. You're not cool enough. We've got the Seven of Cups. So it does feel like this is an illusion. I'm going to say that the Devil on your shoulder is an illusion. It feels like the Devil is here to say, if you call them, you're going to look codependent. This feels like a little bit of fear, feels like I'm scared of rejection. I feel that you're hopeful that there's going to be a moment in time when we can speak with each other or finally say what the truth is. It feels like you're waiting for somebody to call you, or you're waiting for the right moment to contact someone else. The Seven of Cups is here. We can see this particular depiction, right? She's holding 2 cups and 5 above the head. So it does feel like there are emotions involved here. It feels like I need to make a decision, and this decision is emotional, and I'm not really sure what to do about it because I do feel hopeful, but I got a Devil on my shoulder telling me that, nah, you're not worth it, man. It's not going to work out the way you think it's going to work out. I feel like you need to go with the truth. Ignore the Devil. You need to go with the truth. Use the sword to cut the Devil away. The chains that bind you are this negative reel you have going on in your head, Cancer. Tell me about the Star. I feel you're trying to heal this negative reel that is constantly in your head, telling you you're not enough, telling you, nah, you need to back away, you don't have enough. This is the illusion. The illusion is what the Devil is giving you here. The Wheel of Fortune is here. So I feel like regardless of what you think, I feel like things are about to change and move forward anyway. So if you are waiting for that call, you're going to get it. If you are waiting to make that call, I feel like there is a moment that everything changes, and it feels like in this moment of expansion and destiny, you're like, I got to do it right now. The Three of Wands tells me this is coming up in the future. Now, I always say this is it for the next 7 days, but look, we can't ignore that there's 3 wands, and for me, wands are weeks. So it could be in a day for some of you, right? The Aquarius energy is here. It feels like it could be a couple of days for some of you, but it could be 3 weeks for some of you, right? Maybe this is the week that you're actually just thinking about making a big change here. Tell me more about Cancer. And we have the Four of Swords in the reverse. So this tells me that there's either been intermittent communication or not much communication. I think that you are breaking no contact. And I don't think that it's been a very long time, understand. It feels like it's been 3 weeks, or maybe it's been a month. It feels like it hasn't been maybe even 5 days. It feels like you have held back long enough and it's time for you to say something. And it does feel like you are going to say something. I think you're hopeful that this person is going to reach out to you first, though. I think you're hoping that you're not going to have to reach out to them. I feel like that you're worried that you'll be regretful if you do. If you say something wrong, if you speak the truth. I feel like the 5 cups above her head tells me that you're scared to make the decision because the 5 cups are here. And possibly the 7 cups, the confusion or the illusion, turns into reality, which is, I shouldn't have done that. You'll start being in your head with the woulda, shoulda, coulda. We do have the 6 of Wands. We have the Seven of Wands, and we have the Ten of Cups. So I feel like you can get over it if you can leap the barrier. Look at the way it's held out here, right? We got 2 wands in the hands, right? This is me in the process of making a decision, and then the 5 wands is here. The 5 wands are indecision. And so I feel like somebody is about to leap over their indecision and take some action, because the 6 of wands is here. I feel like you do want to give somebody attention, or you do want the attention. So either way, I feel like 2 people are going to be talking to each other that haven't spoken in a while. I think it's been quiet. So it does feel like there is, there's happiness. This all works out the way you want it to. This person is going to be so freaking happy that you called, or you're going to be so happy when they call. It feels like there's going to be celebration. It feels like this has been a dark time that you've been through, or you've been nervous about how you feel about the situation. So I feel like the universe finally takes hold of the situation and says, nah, look, it's time. It's time for things to expand and change. It's time for things to change. And if things change in the next 7 days, I feel like in the next 3 weeks that things ramp up and you continually keep conversation flowing, because the Four of Swords is now in the reverse. I feel like there needed to be some sort of a healing period. We've got the Queen of Swords. Yeah. So somebody is going to say something. Look, the Queen of Swords is leveling up, right? The Queen of Swords is the one who is standing up and saying, I got something to say. That's why her sword is in the air. So there's 2 swords here. The decision is made. 4, 5, 6. 6 swords. We're moving forward. Yep. It's time to go from the place of the chaos of the mind to the calmer place. I feel like somebody here is about to liberate themselves verbally and say something, whether that's you or them, whether it's feminine or masculine. It feels like somebody is just going to be really super honest about how I feel about the situation. It's time for me to leap all of my indecisions, leave them in the background, and decide it's time for me to get my victory here. Tell me what the outcome is, please. We've got the 2 of Wands. We've got the King of Pentacles. And we've got the 2 of Cups. Look at that. I feel like your plan is working, I want to say. Now, if your plan was to be quiet and create some distance so this person would miss you a little bit, I think that's masterful. So many people don't understand that it's okay to miss someone. You don't got to be in somebody's back pocket all the time. In fact, it creates anticipation, right? Hang on, I'm hearing a song. Oh, I'm hearing the... What is that? No, I can't get it. Sorry. We've got the 2 of Wands. It tells me here that somebody here is about to make a plan. Either you're making a plan or someone else is, that it's time for me to grab those 2 wands, take the bull by the horns. You could be dealing with a Taurus. Take the bull by the horns here. Taurus is here. And it's time to get a little closer, or just be really honest about how I'm feeling about the situation. To share a hug, to say hello. It feels like somebody is making a plan to reach out, whether you're reaching out to them or they're reaching out to you. Tell me what is around the corner for Cancer. We've got the 10 of Pentacles. We've got the 5 of Pentacles. It comes back down to money. Cancer. Cancer, I think that you don't feel like you energetically have enough time, or maybe you feel like you don't have enough money. I'm going to say that the 10 of Pentacles tells me that you think that this person is worth all of it, and I get it. I think that it's making you really nervous because it feels like this does have something to do with longevity. So whether this 2 of Cups is platonic or romantic, and you're creating a bond with somebody that maybe you're asking to come on a trip with you, maybe we don't know each other that well, and this is a friend. Whether it's a friend or a romantic relationship, it feels like you're about to make a decision about giving reciprocal energy to someone, but you don't think you have enough. It could be time, effort, energy, or money, whatever it is. It feels like you feel like you're not enough, 5 of Pentacles, or you feel like you don't have enough, or you feel like you've been on the outside looking in for so long, maybe you haven't dated in a while, that you're not really sure you can handle all 10 Pentacles. So I'm going to say, look, start at the 5, go to the 6, relax. You can go from the 5 to the 6, right? Give a little bit of reciprocal energy. You know what it is, Cancer? I think that you're so giving and kind. And I think that you're like, but you don't understand. If I If I'm in, I'm all the way in. It's going to be all the reciprocal energy. I'm probably going to give more than I get. And I think that's what's making you nervous. I don't think it's that you don't think you have enough money. I don't think it has to do with a time issue. I think it's like, you know that when you're in deep, right? When you decide to finally show someone your feelings, you're in deep. We've got the Six of Cups in the reverse. And so you don't know if somebody here feels the same as you. I feel like there's excitement in the reach out. That could be why you're feeling a little nervous. Maybe this person is an Empress. So if the person that you are thinking about or that you are ready to reach out to is the Empress, this person is not reaching out to you first. This person will not reach out to you first. So I feel like you're reaching out to them. I was wondering if it was you or them. So I feel like what you're trying to do is build a solid foundation first. We need a friendship. We need to get to know each other. We need to move forward. We did talk about Six Swords, right? So we need to get to move forward here with the Six Swords in a very calm way. And then from there, we can figure out whether or not we're going to invest, or if I'm going to give you this really solid offer. So look, just because you're saying yes to possibly creating new memories with somebody, it doesn't mean that you have to get married, right? You don't have to marry everybody you date. Yeah, but I think it feels that way to you. I think it feels like all or nothing. Like you're like, but you don't understand. When I'm in, I don't just go in up to my knees. I go up to my shoulders, right? So we have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. We have Leo, Sagittarius. We've got Virgo energy here. We've got Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Sagittarius, and Capricorn, Aquarius, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and Libra energy here. All right. Leo. Let's find out what's going on with Leo for the next 7 days. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter for my fire family. Leo, this is your year. I think it's your year. Have you seen an astrologer? This is going to be your year, friend. You're going to get all kinds of stuff done. All kinds of... it's going to push you through the year for success. Tell me about Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. And I only know that because I think at some point in the year, might be June, maybe even July, around the summertime, around your season, that I think that Jupiter shows up for you, which is abundance. And I only know that because I'm a Leo Jupiter. Tell me about Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We've got the Queen of Cups. We've got the Ten of Swords. It feels like you're giving up on love here. There's some sort of deep feeling that you have, and it's like, I'm giving up on it. I don't want to get hurt. Maybe you've been betrayed emotionally here. Tell me more. We've got the Chariot. And the Four of Pentacles. So I feel like you're, if we're looking at relationship, it feels like something here you can't let go of. It feels like you can't let go of a betrayal. I think you do want to move forward and you want some sort of victory. It's going to take discipline emotionally. You've got to let go. You got to let go. Look, it's here. The Ten of Swords is here and you've got to release it, friend. I feel like you're stuck. I feel like you're stuck in nostalgia is what it feels like here. You're in remembrance of something. It doesn't have to be romantic, understand. It's just emotional. We've got the Queen of Cups here pouring out the last cup. And the person is up to their hips in emotion. So it just feels like it's something that's highly emotionally charged for you. The Chariot energy is Cancer, and Cancer keeps their feelings under the surface until the time that they're super ready to let people around them know how they feel about something. You're not often going to see, unless it's fire in the rising or air in the rising, that somebody's going to stand up and have an opinion about something that's deeply emotional. When it comes to Cancer energy, I'm speaking of. So it does feel like, I got to get my emotions in order here. It feels like you're still emotionally, nostalgically stuck to some sort of betrayal that you would really rather move away from, but I feel like you can't let go of it. And it feels like it's deeply emotional, whatever it is. Let's find out what it is. Tell me about the Queen of Cups. Tell me about the Queen of Cups. This almost seems like a bit of a block. Like there's chains around the door. It's almost like you can't let it go. There's no way you can find a way out. Tell me why the Queen of Cups is here. We've got the Star. Yeah, you definitely have to heal. This is healing and hope. Tell me more. We've got the Magician. This is the Knight of Wands. I think you just want to get back to being your old self. That's what it feels like. It feels as though I'm hopeful that I can heal enough to create the environment where I can just be myself again. I feel like the Knight of Wands is the energy of being brave and going for it and just feeling my fire again, feeling the fiery me. It feels like you've been caught up in your feelings for a long time about something that made you very deeply emotional. It feels like it is something that hurt you. And I think that you are trying to let go of it, but it almost feels like you can't find a way out. So it does feel like you've pushed it down and pushed something on top of it. The pentacle world, money, time, effort, work. It feels like you've just pushed it down. Chariot energy, right, is Cancer energy, which is sort of being pushed to underneath, right? Cancer also is the Queen of Cups. We've got the Ace of Swords. We've got the Queen of Wands. We've got the Seven of Swords. I think there is a way out. And this is, there you go, Leo. There you are. I think the way out is this. I feel like you come to this place of clarity or this epiphany that you are here in this life to be resilient. I feel like you've gone through this situation before. I'm going to say it feels like someone here maybe ended up catching feelings for a situationship. It could be very much that if this is a romantic situation at all. And like I said, it doesn't have to be, because the Queen is simply just deep emotions, right? Kind, compassionate, deep emotions. So it feels like this Ace of Swords is you coming to the truth of something, the clarity or the realization of something. I am the Queen of Wands. And regardless of what happens to me, I'm always going to be able to get up again. So the Queen of Wands is on the throne because she or he is a badass. I can keep getting up. I can keep being resilient. Go ahead. Keep lying to me. It feels like this has been done so many times. I've learned so many lessons. It's the first time I've ever looked at the Seven of Swords with that person carrying all the information, all the books. It feels like I'll just keep this all in the arsenal for later is what it feels like. I'll keep it for when I need to make a big, bold move. It feels like you're like, fine, I'll just keep it under the surface. We got the Sun here, though. It does feel like this is going to come to you in terms of a breakthrough, that you are going to be happy again. I feel like you are going to get out of your feelings and you are going to detach and let go. As soon as you figure out how to manifest, how to get yourself back on your fiery little hooves here, back on your fiery feet. Tell me more about Leo. The Queen of Wands is your energy, and is somebody who's resilient, who's had a tough life, somebody who's gone through a lot of crap. And I feel like you keep a lot of that under the surface and you don't tell people. But I think that you are about to be really honest with yourself and say, look, I've been looking at this from a distance for a while, and it's time for me to look at it close up. It feels like you've learned many harsh lessons in your life. And I feel like this is one of those harsh lessons. You're going to come out of this one as well. Don't let yourself get locked down in this emotional thing, because somebody deserves your beautiful emotions. Because gosh, look, when you can finally crack through the hard shell of Leo, it is beautiful. Like, so beautiful. Like when Leo feels safe enough to open up, it's so beautiful. So I'm going to say, look, this is a learning thing for you, teaching you how to make decisions about how to get back up again every time, and then add that to your arsenal. And just add it to your arsenal and add it to your arsenal. It feels like you are adding, I'm going to say, whatever you're learning, you are adding. And what is this? Yeah, I don't think you're trying to get in. I think you're having a hard time getting out of your head, getting out of your feelings. Tell me what the outcome is, please, for Leo. This too will pass, my friend. I feel like you finally get up, stand up in your energy and say, you know what? Screw that. I'm just going to keep moving forward. It's happened before. It'll probably happen again. I think you just need a better exit plan, better healing plan. And I think you start right here. Tell me what the outcome is for Leo. We've got the Eight of Pentacles, working on yourself. Absolutely. Whenever somebody hurts you, do all the things for yourself that they didn't do for you. Please do that. And you will find that when you finally come to this place of realization that you do have worth, it's because you've worked on yourself. Oh, look at that. We have the King of Wands as well. And we have the Six of Swords. So the King of Wands is representing wisdom about fire, right? About wisdom about how to do the controlled burn, right? The farmers are really good at that. They know how to do the controlled burn. The knights, the ones who don't have as much wisdom as the kings, those are the ones that set things on fire and let whole bridges and kingdoms burn, right? They just set them on fire and that's it. But the King of Wands has the wisdom enough to know where I can place my fire. So I think that's it. I think it's the controlled burn. You have to learn who is the person who deserves your fire and who's the person who doesn't, and detach from the chaos of it. So I feel like when you learn how to control your fire, it's no longer chaotic, and that comes with the Eight of Pentacles and learning the self. This, I feel, is about really looking over yourself and knowing what you deserve and just going with it and working on the self over and over again, trying to, let's say, shine. I'm looking at the glittery stuff on the Ace of Swords, learning to shine the edges, right? Making them soft. Tell me what's around the corner for Leo. Got the Page of Wands. Oh, the Wheel of Fortune is here. I like it. So the Wheel of Fortune is here because everything is about to switch up. Everything is about to change. Look, you're going to be back to your old self in no time. I feel like you're already feeling these little pockets of excitement, these little pockets of fire that are making you start to feel like yourself again. I think you're keeping it to yourself because right now I feel like what you're doing is you're hiding in your comfort zone. It feels like, it's funny because all these books are stacked up behind this person here, and then we have the one who is the student. I think right now you're learning about yourself. You're learning how to control the burn. You're learning how to share your fire with, you're learning that it's not good to just set things aflame and keep moving, that it's really good to do the controlled burn because then you get to keep some of that fire for yourself. So I feel like the Wheel of Fortune is telling me everything is moving forward the way it should. We are in the year of 1, and the Wheel of Fortune is card 10, breaks down to a 1. I feel like this is a changing year for you. Like I said, everything's about to expand, and I think I did say that Jupiter was probably showing up for you. I think it's mid-year, but you might want to check with an astrologer. I think Jupiter is showing up, and Jupiter is the ruling card of the Wheel of Fortune. This is a Sagittarian energy. But I want to say it's taking you a long time to get there because you're a fixed sign, friend. Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo. Takes you a long time to get there, Leo. That's the deal. You picked the fixed sign on the way in to this world. Got the King of Pentacles. I feel like somebody here, everything changes for your financial situation this year. Everything changes because you've done the study, you've worked on the self, you've learned the control burn, and you've decided no more chaos. I'm moving to the calm. I feel like you've done a bunch of studying and a bunch of learning, and you're standing up. Even having fallen down and scraped your knees a lot, you're going to stand up the 7th time and take your place, your rightful place on the throne. So, I love it. Look at that. I couldn't even plan that. The Emperor's here. I feel like you are standing up in your Emperor's shoes, friend, that you are going to be running your own empire. You're the one who is in control of your destiny. We saw the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like the Wheel of Fortune is here because the universe is handing your destiny to you and saying, okay, go. That's why the Knight of Wands is here. Be brave, go. But do it with a controlled burn. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We've got Aquarius, Gemini. We've got Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. No, sorry. That was absolutely wrong. That's not fire. Oh, I got so excited for you. I'm looking at Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, more Sagittarius, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo energy here. More Sagittarius energy, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. We've got some Aquarius energy just for good measure, and we've got Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, and that Emperor on the bottom of the deck. That's who you're turning into this year. You are going to be in charge of it all, my friend. All right. Tell me about Virgo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me all about Virgo. Next 7 days for Virgo. Tell me about Virgo. Tell me about Virgo. We've got the Knight of Wands, Virgo. We've got the Queen of Wands. We've got the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. And we've got the sun. You know what I think? I feel like you are learning in the next 7 days to let go of impulsivity. It feels like you are somebody who, now listen, I know that Virgo is very much about the details. You are an earth sign, but listen, maybe you're a Leo who's got a Virgo rising. Maybe you are a Sagittarius who is a Virgo moon. This reading isn't always for Virgo sun, right? I'm reading for sun, moon, rising, Venus, and Jupiter. So I'm going to say that it does feel like the energy I'm getting here is that somebody is releasing their impulsivity. So whether or not you're the person who's very planned and looks over the details, I feel like you're not going to do it right away. You're going to hold back and wait. Because I feel like the sun being here tells me you want to be happy. You're having a breakthrough. The breakthrough is the Four of Pentacles in the reverse, that I've got to be a little bit more vulnerable, but I can't give it all at once. So I feel like the impulsivity comes from the Knight of Wands, wanting it now, instant gratification. It almost feels like the difference between the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Wands is wisdom. It feels like you've grown in wisdom because everything grows under the sun, and you've had some sort of a breakthrough. So it feels like you have decided, yep, you're right. I do need to be a little bit more vulnerable, a little bit more giving of my time, effort, or energy. I can't be completely closed off, but it feels like you've got to do it in a controlled way. It can't just be throwing it out there and setting things on fire. We've got the King of Wands. Oh, we've got the whole family here. We've got the King of Wands. We've got the Fool. Okay, yeah. So I always say, like, the King of Wands, when the Knight shows up first, and it was happening in Leo's energy as well, that when the Knight shows up first, it's like you're used to setting things on fire and just running with it, right? You're just going to take risks. You're just going to do the instant gratification thing. I want that. I'm going to go get it. You know you can get whatever you want, Virgo. And I feel like somebody here is deciding to hold back. Wait a second. I need to bring wisdom into this, because this is I'm taking a big leap here. I'm about to take a leap off the edge and do something new that I've never done before, and I don't necessarily know the protocol. So I'm going to say that while you are in this Knight of Wands energy and you just want to leap, because you see that there's trees across here, and if the worst comes to worst, you can hit those trees and grab onto them before you fall into the abyss. I feel like you are you're going cycling through your mind like, the last time I did this, I was very vulnerable and I set something on fire and maybe it burnt to the ground. I feel like you are holding back, but I also feel like you're ready to make a bold move. So I feel like the King of Wands is telling me that you've got wisdom now, that you're older or you've learned more. And the Queen of Wands is telling me, I'm going to make the bold move, but my wisdom is telling me to do it in a controlled way, that I am going to take the leap of faith because I do want this new path. But it does feel like you can see everything that's below. Like, I feel like it's water and not rocks. Do you know what I mean? I feel like because when the Fool shows in the upright for me, it is an educated leap of faith, but you're jumping into something that you don't know a whole lot about. You're used to running in fire, and I think it's going to take logic and reason a little bit. All of this fire around you. This logic and reason is in the reverse here. Oh my God, I think you're throwing something out the window. We've got the Seven of Pentacles. So it does feel like yes, the reassessment phase. So I feel like you are going to reassess it. This Seven of Pentacles is telling me I'm going to look at it again. I'm going to make sure I got all the details. I'm going to make sure that I know what I'm doing. And then I am probably going to take a leap of faith. I'm going to say that you've been working on something for a while and that your intention has been set for a long time. You've had your eye on this in the distance, and you've been trying to be brave. You've been trying to be brave enough to go get it. So it feels like it's a job, because the Seven of Pentacles showed up. It could be a job, but it could be something that you require being vulnerable first in order to do it. It requires that you be open to falling down and scraping your knees. Like the Queen is on the throne because she's had a hard time and she's very resilient. It feels like you have to be open to failure, and that's why the Fool is here. Tell me more about this. Whatever it is, I feel like this breakthrough is, I can do it because I have the chutzpah to do it. I'm brave. I can do it, but I'm going to have to do it in a grown-up way where I'm going to have to sort of use my wisdom and not necessarily all of my firepower. We've got the Seven of Cups in the reverse. You know what you want. You're going to get it. So I feel like you've already figured out all the details. I think you know which way you're going. You're going to take the map. You know which way you're going. And I feel like there's nothing that is going to stop you from getting it because you know the path. You know how to get it. You've done the reassessment. You know all the details. You know the analytics, and you know where GPS is going to take you here. We've got the Five of Cups. Why is that? Got the Judgment card. But what if I make the wrong decision? Right. We all have that in the back of our heads, right? No matter how prepared we are. What if I make the wrong decision? What if the decision I make is one of that I'm going to regret? So the Five of Cups tells me that you know what you want. It's already been established that this is the thing that you want, the person, place, thing, job, whatever we're talking about for you. You already know that you want it. And when Judgment shows up, it says you have to give up the one thing in order to go for the next because it's a brand new chapter. You have to, it feels like this Judgment card is telling me that this is something that has come back around for you again. Because really that is what Judgment is. It's like it came around the first time you weren't ready. It came around the second time, maybe you weren't mature enough. Maybe you didn't have enough wisdom. But now it's here and it's looking you in the face and you're like, I think I'm ready. I think I've reassessed enough. I think I'm going to take the leap of faith. It feels like it's coming back because it's time for you to make a decision to do it. You've been ogling it from a distance for a really long time. This is the Page of Swords. You've been going over it. And the Page of Swords is the study, right? The one, look, Aquarius doesn't miss a thing. Like the air signs, right? Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, it will imprint on their brain. They don't miss a detail, but neither do you, right, Virgo? So it feels like it's something you've been studying from a distance. You have all the information that you need. And now when it shows up, when it comes back around the block, you're going to flag it down and say, wait a second, wait for me. I'm ready to get on the bus now. Tell me what the outcome is for Virgo. We've got the Four of Wands. Oh, this could be a relationship. It could be buying a house. It could be the place where I'm going to live for a really long time, the place where I'm going to get stability and celebrate, grow my family. To me, the Four of Wands is always going to the next level, going to the next level in your career. Maybe you're quitting your job and going to school. It could be going to the next level in a relationship, moving in together, yours, mine, and ours. We've got the Nine of Cups because this is my wish fulfillment. It's time for me to have it's time for me to get into alignment with the happiness that I feel on the inside. It's time for me to have it born on the outside into the 3D. So you're making something real, Eight of Wands, and there you go. You're ready to take the leap. Eight of Wands is here. I'm just going to go for it. Tell me what's around the corner for Virgo, please. Yeah, it's velocity is what it is. We've got the Eight of Swords, the last look back. It feels like you're making this decision. Got the two swords tied. Feels like this person tied to the tree, right? You're making this decision and you know that you need to move on, but it could be something that doesn't work out. It could be heartbreaking. I think it's going to work out fine though, because the Ace of Cups just showed up. So whether this is romantic or not, the Ace of Cups is the heart opening. It's happiness. It's emotional fulfillment. I'm at the beginning of an emotionally fulfilling path because I've worked on it and worked on it and worked on it. The Eight of Pentacles is here. That's your energy because I know all the details. I've worked out all the least case and worst case scenarios. I know this is going to work. So the Knight of Swords goes in with velocity. I think that you are letting something go. It feels like a solid offer is coming up, either coming to you or you're giving someone a solid offer. But either way, it feels like you're dropping some sort of financial burdens that you've been carrying in order to be able to have some sort of new beginning. It feels like this Knight of Swords here says, I just got to get it done. I finally have to face the finances so I can buy the house, so I can have the new life. It feels like somebody here is something here that you've been ignoring financially. The Queen of Pentacles is in the reverse. It could be that. You could have been ignoring something financially, but if you want the house, if you want the life, if you want all this, I finally have to face it. And the Knight of Swords is here, Gemini energy. Maybe your accountant or your bookkeeper is the Knight of Swords. It feels like I got something to say. Let's get it done. Let's go at it with velocity and just get it done quickly and painlessly. Got Gemini, Aquarius, Virgo, and Pisces. We got more Virgo energy. Got Scorpio. We've got Leo energy. We've got Aquarius energy and Aries, Scorpio. We've got Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. We've got Pisces energy. Yeah, lots of fire here, friend. Lots of fire. All right. That could be because that's movement, excitement, or it could be because you have a fire sign. You're going to rely on that. Tell me about Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me all about Libra. Libra for the next 7 days. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me all about Libra. Libra, we have the Ace of Cups. We've got the Knight of Cups. Ooh, something's about to change here with the heart space. Do you have a romantic interest in somebody here? It feels like something that's been taking a while, like taking a while to make a decision. It seems like passive energy that is about to finally move forward. It feels like something is about to expand. Is your heart expanding? Is your emotional energy expanding? Oh, interesting. I love it. Something is about to change. There is an emotional transformation going on here. I feel like you're about to pull the top off the pop bottle and everything is going to spill at the top. It feels like emotions, my friend. Interesting. I just looked up at the timer and it said 1:11:11. So it was 1 hour, 11 minutes, 11 seconds. So it feels like something's at the beginning because look, a lot of stuff going on here for you. The wheel is here, and this is card 10, which breaks down to a 1 in numerology. So this is all about the year 1. It's all about you being back at the start because we've got the Ace of Cups here. It feels like the clearing of karma of something. You're dropping something, the end of an old chapter. I think what it's the end of is you being very super careful. It feels like you have been on the approach emotionally, perhaps romantically, and something here has changed. I'm going to say something has changed within you. Oh, what is that song? Hang on. Is that Elsa? Something within me has changed? Is that what she says? Oh, look, I don't have little ones, and so my little one grew up before Elsa came along. Something about taking off. You're about to take off here, my friend. Something within me has changed. Look, if you know the lyrics, maybe you want to put them down in the comments so somebody can see the lyrics. I feel, defying gravity. That's what it is. Oh my gosh. Okay, I just got head to toe chills. Libra, you're about to defy gravity. It feels like you are about to take off. That's what it is. Okay, let's talk about the Ace of Cups. I really do feel that this is something that you've been eyeing up from a distance. You've been passively moving towards something here, and you're at the point of no return. The Wheel of Fortune is now standing in front of you. It's time for it to change. It's time for everything to change, and something's about to expand, and I think it's your heart space is what it is. Tell me about this defying gravity. Very neat. Four of Pentacles. I get the weirdest songs, right? I think I've heard that song on the internet maybe 3 or 4 times. Four of Pentacles is here. So you go from a place of being shut off and shut down, hiding your feelings, hiding your emotion, to something here that expands. It's now I'm seeing the Grinch. Remember when the Grinch's heart grew like 4 or 5 sizes bigger, right? We watched the Grinch's heart get big, and I don't think you're a Grinch, just be honest. The Fool is here. See, there we go. You're defying gravity, literally jumping off the edge. That's what it is. So I think that's why I was getting that song. And there you are. You are taking a leap of faith. You're going from a place where you were hiding yourself, hiding your thoughts, hiding your time, effort, or energy. It feels like somebody was hiding behind, I'm really busy, I have lots to do. Like it feels like you are now coming to a place of harmony where you've decided it's time to take that leap. I've just got to let somebody finally see my heart space and what I've been feeling. So it feels as though that destiny is here. Everything's about to change, but I do feel like it took a long time to get here. So I'm going to say that Libra, you do tend to move a little bit slow, but I think you have something really slow in your moon energy. Like it feels like a fixed sign. Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo. It feels like something in your moon sign is fixed. And so it feels like that's what's been taking you so long. You feel like a little bit of a late bloomer to me, is what it feels like. Tell me more. We've got the Two of Pentacles. Whew, it's like somebody's just taking the one last breath. I just got to keep it together. I just got to keep it balanced. I got to keep it together. I got to keep all the balls in the air. And then I'm going in to give reciprocal energy. It feels almost a little bit nerve-wracking. I've got to get my nerves straight. I've got to keep everything. I got to keep myself on the unicycle, right? Keep myself upright. Don't want to fall down. Six of Pentacles is here, and the Hermit is here. Remember everything you learned. Remember everything you've taught yourself. Libra, I think that you have been through a dark night of the soul, which means you've likely found your light. It feels like you, this isn't something you would usually do. And so I feel like you are about to show somebody a little bit more of how you feel about them. I don't think it's no grand display of affection, although the Knight of Cups is here. So I think you've dreamed about it, or you fantasize about it, or, you know, you've been thinking about it a lot, about how this would all break down or transpire. I feel like the Hermit energy is telling me that I'm just going to give them a tiny little bit of light and let them know that I feel a way about them through reciprocal energy. It feels like you have really worked on yourself a lot. I'm going to say it feels like you're somebody who has been through some sort of a spiritual awakening, or enough that you finally know that you have your light. And so it feels like you don't want to put at risk the Eight Pentacles, all the work I've done on myself. I don't want to just give that over to someone, but I have changed. Yeah, something within me has changed. That's what it feels like here. Tell me more. We've got the Queen of Swords. There's you, Libra, right? So I think you are liberating yourself. You're liberating yourself from the darkness, from the silence. Something has changed. And I think what has changed is you've got something to say. So for me as a reader, when the swords are in the air, it's, hey, I got something to say. So I feel like you do have something to say. I think you will say it in a very honest way. But because the Queen of Swords is pointing at the light, I think it's going to be something small, a little bit of light. I don't think you're going to go full on Knight of Cups, pulling him up onto the horse and riding off into the sunset. I don't think that's what's happening. But I think that you are going to be open, honest, truthful, give reciprocal energy, and keep in balance. Because I think what has changed is the way you feel about a situation. And it's because the Wheel of Fortune is here that everything is expanding and changing, because it's your destiny. It's time. Tell me what the outcome is. The Six of Swords. Okay, so moving away from the chaos of the mind, and that's exactly what's going on here. When you finally liberate yourself and stand up and put up your boundaries and say, okay, well, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. That's my boundary. And if that person wants to come closer inside the boundary, then I will let them. But I do have my boundaries. And I think your boundary is, I'm just going to give them just a tiny little bit of something to see if they're interested. We do have the Eight of Pentacles. We need to talk about that here, right? 6 and 2 is 8. Eight of Pentacles shows up in the outcome, because I think that we're going from the chaos to the calm. Everything is moving, but I think that you're keeping in mind how much work you've done on yourself and that you do have worth. You know what your worth is, and you're not going to accept anything less than that, Libra. I feel like there's a real attraction here to someone. Fire, excitement, creation. Feels like a very, like an exciting feeling of jumping off the edge, right? Defying gravity, right? Like you could fall off the edge, but what if you fly, right? What if you just sprout wings and fly? What if that? I'm just looking at the dove here, right? So tell me what's around the corner for Libra. We've got the Five of Swords in the reverse, because I don't want to be in a position in my life where I'm in the woulda, shoulda, coulda. I should have done that. I should have said something. It would have worked out. It could have worked out. I feel like somebody here is deciding, I don't want to miss this opportunity. And I don't think you will. I don't think the universe is going to let you. I don't think the universe is going to let up, honestly. We've got the Magician. I think that this particular opportunity, whatever the opportunity is, because it could be work, it could be love, it's like speaking up. You're finally getting an audience or people who are going to listen, or you're going to make them listen. It feels like finally this judgment, when it comes back round again, it feels like this has passed you by a few times. It could be with a person, it could be with a job, it could be a situation, but it feels like you've allowed this to get away from you before. And this is the time in your life with the Wheel of Fortune present with Judgment. I'm not going to let it go. I can't let it go this time. So the Five of Swords in the reverse is, I don't want to hold a grudge. I don't want to be in this place where I could have grabbed it and I didn't. I don't want to be in my head, beating myself up, because this is now creating the perfect scenario. Look at this. Creation, Judgment, Wheel of Fortune, and the Death card. You're in a place in your life where everything is about to change for the better and life is expanding. So I think that it's time for you to say yes to whatever this is. It's time because Judgment is here. Oh boy. Look, the universe is laying heavy on you. Yep. I feel like you've been carrying some sort of burden in the dark for a long time because you didn't know what to do. You maybe because you're not a very good decision maker, or you're slow to make a decision, but it feels like you're about to offer someone something. And I feel like it's somebody who's very confident, who you already have a friendship or a partnership with. It feels like somebody who maybe is really beautiful or handsome. You might be intimidated by the work they do or how they look, maybe. But I feel like this World card here is saying, that's it. All bets are off. This is your milestone. This is time for your milestone, Libra. Whatever the milestone is for you, it's time for you to stop ignoring the Judgment card and to finally take the door that's being offered to you. Because it's never going to let you alone until you take it. We do have Pisces. We have Libra and Aquarius and Gemini. We have Gemini and Aries, Virgo, Pisces. We have Libra, Aries, Aquarius, and Scorpio. Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Sagittarius, and Virgo. And Sagittarius, Cancer, Pisces. It's something they're very deeply emotional about with the moon, but also things are not as they seem. I feel like they work out better than you think they're going to work out for you, Libra. Whew, these are deep readings, man. Tell me about Scorpio. Scorpio, be easy on me, huh? One more time. I feel like I need to cut you twice. Let's find out what's going on with Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter the next 7 days. Tell me about Scorpio. This is a week of big changes, man. People are making big moves and big changes. What's coming up for Scorpio, please? Tell me about Scorpio. We have the Four of Cups, Scorpio. What are you thinking about? It's like you're sitting here. Should I? It almost feels like you should. Yeah. If you don't, someone else is going to get it. Someone else is going to get the cup. Should I reject this information? Reject the knowledge? Reject the relationship? Reject the offer? Tell me about the Four of Cups for Scorpio. Queen of Swords, she's hanging out today, boy. Queen of Swords is here. I feel like you're going to liberate yourself from this Four of Cups energy here. The Seven of Cups tells me you're making some sort of a decision that I feel has been probably emotionally draining, because I think that's why you've been hiding. I think that's why you're in the Four of Cups energy. Something here has been emotionally draining or confusing, overwhelming, I would say. And I finally have to cut through the illusion or the overwhelm and say something. I need to not only say something, I need to do something. So it feels like you need to take action. You know that you can't say something without taking action. So if you decide to say something, you also have to take action. It's about whatever this Seven of Cups is. It's something here that I feel has been overwhelming emotionally for you to get through. I feel like you hide yourself away, or that you are I feel like you're making a decision about who to reject or what to reject or the situation that you're going to reject, because you can't take all 7. I feel like you can't take all 7, and the 4 of Cups is giving me rejection, and I feel like it's going to be a sharp rejection, understand, because you have boundaries. But I think that once you make the decision, once you say something about it that's honest and truthful, you got to be honest with yourself, and in order to create balance, you have to actually get up and do something. You have to take action. So I feel like that's why you're sitting here in the 4 of Cups trying to make your decision about who or what you're going to reject, which cups are you going to reject, because I feel like you know that you can't just say you're going to do it. You got to put some action behind it too, because the Queen of Wands is here. Tell me about the 4 of Cups. We've got the 5 of Swords, so there's a lot of angst. I feel like one day you're in one mindset, the next day you're in the next mindset. I think that's where you go, Scorpio, and that's why people will call you strategic. That's why you're strategic. Your strategy is great because you think from both sides. And I want to say that because the 5 of Swords to me is fundamental differences. And you're like, but what if this person thinks this way? What if they're religious and I'm spiritual? Then what if I want to go to spiritual and they're religious? Like, you always think about it backwards of what it is. So I feel like you're thinking about it both ways. The 5 of Swords tells me, though, it does feel like a bit of an emotional turmoil or an emotional struggle or emotional thought pattern you're going through. And it feels like when you get overwhelmed, you just sit there. Any of you like that? I'm like that. When there's so much to be done, I have so many readings to do. I have lots on my plate that day. Got to clean, got to cook, got to be mom, got to do all the stuff. I tend to just sit on my sofa and play my little screw game because I get overwhelmed. Tell me more about Scorpio. Are you overwhelmed? We've got the 7 of Pentacles. We've got the Knight of Cups. Yeah. So it is something that's close to your heart. It is something that you're taking your time making a decision about, because you know that when you say something, you've got to act on it. You can't just put words out there and then not have anything to back it. The Knight of Cups is taking their time, though. That is the passive energy, but it is close to your heart. Cups, 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 right? The 7 of Pentacles is here. This is reassessment. This is, I have an intention, right? It's throwing your seeds of intention. I have an intention to grow something, but I know I'm going to have to put a lot of hard work into it. I'm going to have to nurture it all in order for it to grow. So I feel like the intention is to reassess the situation, but I think that brings you to the 5 of Cups and the 5 of Swords and the 4 of Cups. It feels like it puts you in this place where you are frozen. I think in the last song I was talking about Frozen. the movie, actually. It's following me around. So I feel like you're a little bit frozen. I think that's why you're in the 4 of Cups, because you know that you're going to have to reject. In order to decide, which is overwhelming, you're going to have to reject as well. Rejection comes with the decision, the clear decision you're making here. Tell me more. Scorpio, we've got the King of Swords in the reverse. Ooh, okay. We've got the Knight of Swords. What if I blurt out the wrong thing? That's what that says. And we've got the 9 of Cups. I mean well, but what if I blurt out the wrong thing? What if I say something this person thinks is rude? They're going to hate me. I don't think that the King of Swords is intentionally here in the reverse to say something like, I'm probably one of the readers, one of the very few that doesn't think that this is a total terrible tyrant when the King of Swords shows up in the reverse. I really do feel like with the Knight of Swords here, because the Knight of Swords usually will blurt things out or just say it no matter who's present, can read the room but doesn't. I feel like the King of Swords is like, but what if I say it in the wrong way and it comes off wrong, and then that's it, I create the landslide. I really mean well. I really am in alignment. I want everything to work out good. I want to say the right thing, blurt out the right thing. But I feel like somebody here might have an Aquarius energy where you tend to be a little bit dry in your delivery. And when the King of Swords is in the reverse, it's like, but what if I say it and it lands wrong? And so I think that you care if it lands wrong because of all these cups that are here, because the emotional stuff is here. I think that's why and the 9, I think that's why you care if what you say lands wrong. And I haven't ever met a King of Cups who wasn't didn't want to hurt feelings. I mean, the King of Cups is Scorpio, right? That's you. And you are not somebody who really does intentionally hurt people unless you feel like they deserve it. The World card is here. So the milestone is this. I feel like this is the end of a chapter for you. I feel the ending chapter is that either you'll no longer be single after this, or you'll no longer be working at this place of work after this. You will no longer have, it's like the place of no return. That's what I'm trying to say. It feels like this is a place of no return. Once I make the decision, it's done. Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo energy. When the fixed signs make a decision, they've gone over the details for so long, sometimes years, that once I make the decision, I'm not going back. So I think that's what the World card is, that I want to say it right. Even if I end up blurting it out, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I just want to say it in the right way because I know I'm going to have to back up my words after. I'm going to have to put energy behind it. So maybe you want to tell somebody how you feel, but you're not really good with getting out your words because you're the King of Cups. Maybe you're not used to being emotionally vulnerable. Maybe you're a person who keeps your feelings under the surface. And when it comes to speaking your feelings, it gets all emotionally overwhelmed. You get emotionally overwhelmed. So it does feel like something here is going to change. It feels like you're either going to no longer be single or something, a chapter comes to an end. It's like once I say something and it's truthful and honest, once I say it, I can't go back on it. Once it's out there, I can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. Tell me what the outcome is. We have the Page of Cups. Okay. So I don't think you're planning on when to say it. I think you're thinking about it. I don't think you're planning on when to say it. I feel like it's an opportunity that you have an option. Like, I think you have a lot of options, but you know, by saying yes to one thing, you're rejecting all others. And you don't want to hurt feelings because you're picking one thing and rejecting all others. But the Page of Cups is here. And so I don't think that you're planning on when you're going to say it. I think you're going to be as surprised as everyone else when you finally do say it. Tell me more. Got the 10 of Cups in the reverse. But you're still struggling with yourself. The 5 of Swords is here next to the 10 of Cups in reverse. Is this disillusionment? Is this going to cause disillusionment in my life? Am I going to be like, oh, frick, I knew that wasn't going to work out. I think this King of Swords is making you feel nervous. I think that this is something new love, new interest, new love interest. It could be a new job. Whatever it is good news, and it is of good rapport, and you want it. You like it. I feel like it's the ability to be able to be self-employed or to stand strong on your own, build something that you've always wanted to build. Could be a job, but it also could be a person. Maybe this person intimidates you a bit. Never saw King Cups be intimidated, but I'm just going to say, maybe the fact that this person has it all together is the reason that you feel a little bit in disillusionment here, thinking like things are never going to work out the way I want them to. Tell me what's around the corner for Scorpio. What's around the corner for Scorpio, please? We've got the Page of Swords, we've got the Temperance card, and we have the Ace of Cups. So you have been, of course, you've been observing from a distance, and you're waiting for the right moment. You're waiting for the universe to tell you, when is the right moment for me to share my feelings? When is the right moment? I feel like you are observing someone from a distance, in a group of people, on the internet, in the community, whatever it is, in your group of friends. It feels like you are observing them to know when the right moment is to say something. And that's when you will. That's when you'll go in for the kill because you are the Emperor. Look, the Emperor has a lot to lose. And I think that's the biggest deal here. You are a person of influence, or you have a really good standing in your community. And it does feel as though this King of Swords is something that you're very aware of, that sometimes you have a little bit of a dry delivery. And I think that's not what you want. I don't think you want the dry delivery. I think that you want it to go off without a hitch, but I feel like this Knight of Wands tells me that you need to be brave, whatever this is. You need to be brave. And I feel like it's freaking you out because I feel like you've already decided what you want. There's something here that reminds you of something in the past. And I think that you, it feels like you've done this before and maybe you didn't win. Maybe you didn't win. Maybe you weren't the Emperor at that time because the Emperor doesn't lose, right? Doesn't have a long list of things they lost at. But there's a doubt, there's fear, the devil is here. And I feel like you're moving into the future as the Emperor here, and I think that you're scared that things are not going to work out the way you want them to. Only because you're scared of your delivery. We've got Sagittarius energy here, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo, Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. We've got Pisces. We've got Virgo, Cancer, and Aries. All right. Okay, let's find out about you, Sag. Fire family, how are you, friends? Hope you're well. Thank you so much for clicking here. Appreciate you. I'm here to read for you for a couple minutes. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Sag. Tell me what's going on for Sag in the next 7 days. What does Sagittarius need to know about what's going on in the next 7 days? We've got the Page of Cups. Okay, tell me about this. The Five of Cups. We've got the Six of Wands. And we've got the King of Swords. I feel like you're waiting for somebody to communicate. Or you're waiting, it almost feels like you're hoping someone's going to surprise you. I want to say that right now, Sagittarius, it feels like you're really not all that happy with the way the situation is unfolding. It feels like with the Six of Wands, you want victory. You want attention. You want victory. It feels like you have come out of this hard place where maybe you've been single for a while. Single doesn't equal sad, but maybe I'll say that maybe it's been lonely or boring at times. And it does feel like you've got possibly a friendship group, but I feel like what you don't have is the two cups. It feels like you have the friendship group, but I feel like you don't have love. It does feel like you're hoping that somebody here is going to say something. I think it's the King of Swords. And look, the King of Swords isn't going to say anything they don't mean. And so the King of Swords is going to be really honest and truthful, and they're not going to say it if they don't mean it. And I think that somebody here has not said it yet. And I feel like you're waiting for them to say it. It feels like sometimes you might be sad, you might question your own worth. Like, why isn't the King of Swords giving me an offer? It feels like, I'm going to say that you might be surprised that something good is coming your way. The Page of Cups is here, and I think it's going to break through the sadness. To be honest, the Page of Cups is, something that's exciting, of good rapport. Could be an apology as well. Whatever it is, I feel like the King of Swords is finally going to make a move or say something kind. It feels like it's a little thing. I'm going to be honest with you. It feels like it's a little thing because look at that little fish in that big cup. It feels like it's out of place, that this person is going to feel really uncomfortable as they say it. It makes them, what's the word I'm looking for? It makes them, I'm going to say a little bit uncomfortable. I don't think that this King of Swords here is used to showing their feelings. They could be a Libra, a Gemini, or an Aquarius. They don't have to have any of those placements, but this is the energy that I'm getting. Somebody squirms or is very uncomfortable when it comes to talking about feelings. And so I feel like you want this person's attention. You want victory with the King of Swords. You want to move forward. You want to have a closer relationship, more of an emotional relationship, and this person isn't giving you anything. I'm going to say this person has a hard time connecting to their feelings or has a hard time speaking about feelings. It's like somebody in their childhood didn't really say, I love you that much. Or maybe it was just a very cold environment. And I don't mean like people who don't say I love you. Some people aren't raised that way. Lots of the Gen X generation was raised kind of like that. Not everybody, of course, but it feels like somebody here gets uncomfortable when the feelings thing gets mentioned. I feel like you give them presence, solid, grounded presence. They feel comfortable in your presence, it feels like. I think that this person is going to give you some sort of really tiny indication. Just looking at the bird, it's like somebody's doing this, right? It feels like they're going to give you a really tiny indication of their feelings at some point. So, I mean, if you blinked, you'd miss it. I'm going to say, give me what's going on with the Page of Cups here. Tell me about this. We've got the Page of Pentacles. Yep, it's small. It's a really small offer, so it could be a gesture. It could be they open a door for you. It could be that you notice that they're treating you just a little bit different in their presence. So you are looking at them face to face. You're in the room with them. You're sitting next to them. So it's when you're in their presence that they are maybe giving you a little more eye contact or something like that. That's what it feels like. The Ten of Cups is here. I feel like this person is really terrified of jumping into the deep end. The Eight of Cups is here. Yeah, this person is somebody who usually lives their life in an emotional detachment. I think it's easiest for them because I think that this is truly where they are. I think your person is like up to their waist in water. I think they're incredibly emotional. So they are someone who restrains themselves from being emotional in the presence of others. It's like when you turn on the tap and the trickle comes out, right? It's just trickling, trickling. It's like when those, what do you call those? Those rubber seals, when they're failing and there's always a trickle of water. That's what it feels like the King of Swords is giving you. The Page of Cups is a trickle of water. So I want to say that this person is generally more comfortable when they are living sort of detached from their emotions. But it does feel like something is about to change because I feel like they feel very comfortable with you in your presence. And I'm just saying something's about to change because we've got butterflies here. And although this person is someone who is kind of emotionally detached, I want to say that, you know, with the two swans here, that it feels like, you know, we've got two swans, two birds, two butterflies, and two, what do you call those? Two butterflies and two dragonflies. So everything here is by twos, right? I feel like they do want to couple up. I feel like this is very emotional, but it takes them a long time because they're incredibly deeply emotional. And I feel like it's going to show on the surface as something really small but significant. You will notice it. I think up till now, the Five of Cups is representing, like, can't this person just give me a little bit? Like, I can feel that they like me. I just want to put the spotlight on it and climb them like a tree, but that's going to make the King of Swords uncomfortable, so I'm not going to do that. We've got the Four of Pentacles. Somebody's a bit walled off, right? We've got this person has a lot of boundaries too. We've got the Four of Cups. And we've got the High Priestess. Stability is really important to this person. They could be a Libra. Stability, staying in balance is really important to them. It feels like, I'm saying Libra because the King of Swords is here and that's air energy. And so it feels like the Four of Pentacles tells me that somebody here is generally walled off or keeps their boundaries in terms of their emotions. That's why they seem so detached. I don't think they are, though. I think this person spends a lot of time by themselves, but I think they are deep as the ocean, man. I think they're deep as the ocean. Look at that, right? I feel like this person is super deep. They're super spiritual. They're super deep. But I feel like they hide from their feelings or they hide from situations. Like maybe they don't necessarily go into overpopulated situations because they are in this highly sensitive energy. They feel like someone who's very sensitive. We've got the Queen of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, they're socially awkward. They're very sensitive. They tend to say the wrong thing. It's almost like they have social anxiety where they go home and think, oh my God, did I say that? Did I say that? This could be you. This absolutely could be you. Look, I never met a Sag who didn't firmly plant their foot in their mouth at least once. I'm a Sag rising. I'm just going to say I know it. So it feels like somebody here is like, why did I say that? Why did I say it that way? Oh my God, I can't believe I said that. So it does feel like somebody here is highly sensitive, spends a lot of time by themselves. And when they get into a situation where they have to like be present in their emotions, it feels like they're a little bit walled off or they come off as a little bit detached or aloof. I don't think they mean to. I just think that they are somebody who has a hard time connecting to their emotions or showing their emotions. Somebody in their life somewhere along the line told them not to show their emotions. Tell me what the outcome is here for Sag. We've got the moon in the reverse, but something's going to be revealed, Sag. What is this? The Ace of Wands. Something's going to be revealed. Something's coming here, Sag. They are going to reveal something that is going to make you think, oh, there it is. They're going to do like open a door, or can I get you a drink, or be very attentive. Do you have everything you need? It feels like the beginning of something kind of passionate. So it feels like this deep emotion, something here is going to be revealed, but it'll come off as Ace of Wands energy. And then they're testing the waters to see how you feel about them before they take the leap, because down deep underneath, there's a whole monster. It feels like they just want to, like the monster is sort of looking at the person up here, and all you see is, you know, all the little things that are going on the surface, the pretty flowers and, you know, all that stuff. And meanwhile, everything's going on below the surface, and this person just wants to, like I said, climb you like a tree, but they know that it's not appropriate, and, you know, they can't attach to their emotions enough to do that. This is somebody who's going to be squeaking out little pieces of emotion for you for a long while, because the moon energy in the reverse to me is the sun, so it is a bit of a breakthrough, but it's a very small one. Tell me what the outcome is, or not the outcome, what's around the corner then for Sag. The Emperor. Somebody steps up. I like it. We've got the Three of Wands in the reverse. Not sure about the future, but I'm ready to step up. And the Page of Wands, sorry. So the Page of Wands is the exciting communication. I'm really considering this as an exciting flicker of passion. It does feel like it's excitement. Like you feel like this person feels like, you know what, maybe I should just really be curious. Maybe I should get to know this person better. Be very curious about the situation. The Three of Wands in the reverse is, I don't think, I'm going to say, please don't think that this is a grand display of affection that is going to take you into marriage in the future, because with the Three of Wands in the reverse, it feels like somebody doesn't want to wait anymore, wants to do it now, but they're not sure what the future will bring. I do feel like it's taken them this long, and it feels like it's taken them a while to step into their Emperor energy. And the Emperor energy tells me that they're trying to look like they're in control. They're trying to look like they're in control. They're trying to use the King of Swords energy to, you know, have this intellectual wisdom. They want to present themselves right. And this person wants to present to you like they're in control of themselves. We do have the Knight of Pentacles. I really do feel like somebody here has been taking forever. The Judgment card is here. It feels like this is an opportunity that they know they can't waste. This has come to them before. And this also might be, Sag, that you see them once in a while. Like maybe it's something, maybe you don't see them all the time. It could be you see them at a class, or you see them during a special occasion, or this person knows that this time might not come back round with the Judgment card. And so I need to be confident enough to step up and make a decision, even though I'm overwhelmed emotionally. Yeah, I think they will, because look at that. Someone can't hold it together anymore. I feel like they don't want to be on the outside looking in. I don't think they can hold it together anymore, friend. All right. Scorpio, Virgo, Pisces energy is what we have so far. We have more Virgo energy. We have Aries, we have Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, more Aries and Pisces. Capricorn energy and more Pisces energy, Aries. We have Cancer energy, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. We have Pisces and Cancer, Scorpio energy as well. All right, all right. On to this birthday babies. What's the date today, friends? It is the 15th. So we just have a little bit of time left in your season, my friend. I'm going out on Saturday to celebrate my favorite Capricorn. It is soon to be her birthday. Happy birthday, friends. I hope you've had a beautiful season. And I hope that you've caught up on things you want to catch up on. I know with, I think this is a time for you to be bold, make big moves in your organizations, how you're organizing your life in your year. This is a very big year for Capricorn. Tell me what's going on with Capricorn. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. The next 7 days. We have the Four of Swords. So it's been for you all about healing the mind, getting clarity about where I want to go next. There's a path behind this guy here, this ogre. I feel like you've been sad in your house. Maybe you've been staying home a lot. It could be that this person is made out of stone, right? This ogre is made out of stone. So it almost feels like you've been maybe healing. It could be healing mentally, but I mean, maybe you've got a cold. It's cold and flu season most places. We've got the Two of Wands here. Feels like you've been doing a lot of thinking. So if you've been staying home a lot, it feels like you've been doing a lot of thinking, making a lot of plans, trying to organize things, trying to figure out what it is that you want next. The Five of Pentacles is here. Yeah, it does feel like you kind of go off grid for a little bit. And maybe not for long periods of time, but I feel like you've been keeping to yourself, detaching a little bit, to make plans, to think about what you want for the future, to think about what you want going forward. And I feel like you're trying to make solid, rooted plans about what is about to come up in your future. Because I don't think you want the same hiccups that you had last year. Now, look, you came through a lot of miraculous things last year. And I think that you came out on the other end of it by the end of the year, for some of you, not all of you, of course, in a better place. I feel like maybe you acquired a new friend group, or things became more social, or there was more celebration to be had. Maybe you're more social than you ever have been. But it feels like now for possibly the next 7 days, you might tuck yourself away and look into the past. Like everything I've survived up to here, everything that I've released up to here, I need to release the last of the things that I feel bad about, and I need to make a plan for the future. I don't want to be looking back here any longer. Tell me about the Four of Swords. What are you healing from, my friend? We've got the Page of Swords. We've got the Devil. And we have the Six of Cups. It feels like you are learning from the past, I want to say. You are learning from the past. You are learning about codependent relationships. You are learning to heal from the things that were toxic. It's almost as if it's a little bit of forgiveness of the self, that you're forgiving yourself for not healing sooner, or for allowing people to bind you or tie you down. Or it feels like these are all memories, things you're observing. You're observing memories or nostalgia, but I don't think they're good ones. Do you know what I mean? The Devil is here, so it's like, gosh, I should have never got into that relationship, or I should have left that job sooner, or I'm still in that job and now I want to leave it in January. It feels like somebody here is looking into the past and saying, I've got to break the chains that bind me. I need a path or a plan to get out of this disconnect. I think something's going to happen quickly because we have 2 5s here. I feel like whatever it is that you're going through in the next 7 days, that you come out on the other side of the next 7 days quite stable, clear in the mind, knowing what to do, that you have a plan in place. And the Ace of Pentacles confirms that. I feel like you have a plan in place. You know where to plant your seed. I know what I want next. I know what it's going to take to start the beginning of the growth of my abundance. The Queen of Swords is here making a plan, a solid plan. Absolutely. I like that. We've got the King of Pentacles. So I think that you're, shocker, thinking about money. I feel like you're thinking about money, but I feel like this King of Pentacles is telling me, what is my next move? What am I going to build next? Where am I going to build next? I got to get myself organized. I got to figure out, what do I have for money? How much money am I making this year? It feels like somebody is like, okay, well, if I put this much money away in January and do it every month until December, I'll have this much at the end of the year. It feels like it's a sharp mind, being honest, building financial boundaries. I need to stop spending on this. I need to stop spending on that. I could probably cut this out. I could probably cut that out. It seems like a reassessment of your finances, or of things that are of a nature of time, effort, energy, money. This could be about friendships. This could be about family. It could be wherever you put your time, efforts, energy, and money, the things that you find of value, you are reassessing those things and being honest with yourself about where your abundance really lies. With the Ace of Pentacles, where is my abundance? Because I'm not here to make the same decisions like the bad decisions I made last year. I'm not here to look behind me, look to the past and say, oh, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. Tell me more. We've got the Judgment card. Look, the Judgment card keeps coming up. That sounded weird, didn't it? It keeps coming up. I'm just saying. The Judgment card keeps telling me that something kept coming around and facing you. And you're like, nope, I'm not ready. Nope. No, I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for that thing just yet. No, I think it's coming back. I think there is something coming back. I think you're ready now to make honest and truthful decisions and liberate yourself from time, effort, energy, places, friendships, jobs, whatever it is. You're ready to cut it the hell out if it doesn't serve you. I think that the Judgment card tells me that you're ready to put something to bed, and maybe multiple things, and you're ready to make decisions, 2 Pentacles, in the Pentacle world about how I'm going to rebuild myself in 2026. It feels like you don't want to be in 2026 looking back there and saying, oh, I could have done that. I should have done that. I feel like Judgment is here to say it's time to make all those decisions now. You can't put them off any longer. The decisions are here. 2 Pentacles, decision-making time is here in the 3D. Get your thoughts organized and liberate yourself and figure out what it is that you are doing. And do it the best way for you. Tell me what the outcome is for Capricorn. We've got the 5 of Wands in the reverse, 555. Something here is about to happen quickly, and you are about to make some quick decisions that are going to push you into a new chapter of your life. Now, when the 5 of Wands comes out in the reverse, I like it because it's no more hesitation. I am no longer going to hesitate. I don't care if there's competition out there. I'm just going to make the decision. No more reservations. I don't really care. I'm just going to do it. 10 of Cups. This is the year where I am going to be happy. I'm going to be in my 10 of Cups era. So I feel like you're like, yeah, look at that tree, how that tree is growing, right? All those roots. It feels like this is the year that I'm going to be happy and I'm going to grow all of those roots here and be stable and grounded. Maybe this is the year that you meet somebody that you really grow roots with. And then we have the King of Swords. Oh, very interesting, because the Queen of Swords is here. It does feel like you need to attract somebody who's just like you. And I think that you're in this energy of being really honest and truthful with yourself. And I think that you being in that energy is attracting the King of Swords. I also think that you're going with the facts. I don't think that you're going to go with emotions. I think you're going with practical, because the Pentacles are here. You're going with practical energy. And you're going with intellectual energy, making intellectually practical decisions about how you are going to grow all of these roots in 2026, because you're not getting stuck here. I don't want to be stuck in nostalgia. I don't want to be looking back, Page of Swords, on the year and saying, I could have done more, or I should have done this, or I should have done that. Tell me what's around the corner. It's the next step for Capricorn. We've got the 8 of Swords. We've got the 9 of Cups. And we've got the Sun. So I think you're having a breakthrough. I think that you do start this year in your head. I'm going to say that it's probably, you're like, what's going on? What's going on? And why isn't anything working out the way that I want it to? It feels like you're in a little bit of confusion, because I think that you thought it would be easier once you stepped over the threshold from 2025 to 2026. But I think that you're saying like, but I feel just as confused 2 weeks later as I did when I was in 2025. I feel like the breakthrough is coming. The breakthrough is coming because I think that you're no longer waiting for people. I think that the 9 of Cups is telling me that I have decided I'm building my own happiness. I'm not going to wait on you to make plans. I'm going to make plans, and if you want to add yourself to my plan, then you go ahead and do that. It feels like somebody here is having a breakthrough that my alignment is what is most important. It's most important that I'm happy on the inside, so I don't need external validation from anything anything or anyone that's on the outside. So I think you get out of your head finally in the next 7 days, and you have some sort of a breakthrough about your happiness and what really makes you happy on the inside. Now, whatever makes you happy on the inside is probably going to make some people unhappy on the outside, because you're no longer vying for their attention. You're no longer waiting for them to say, yeah, okay, I'll do this with you. You're just going to make a plan and do it. I did that actually a couple of months ago. There was a certain thing that I've always wanted to go to, wanted to see. I just went ahead and bought 2 tickets. And I thought, you know what, it's coming up in March. And when March comes, I'll make a decision about who I'm going to ask to go with me. And I think that's kind of the energy that you're in, Capricorn. I'm just going to make the plans. And if you add yourself to it, that's cool. But I plan on having balance and harmony in my life this year. And I plan on taking all the actions that I need in order to do that. The King of Wands is here with the World card. I'm just saying, you're building new foundations because you're putting something to rest. You're at this threshold moment where you're closing a door. You're not going to be the same old Capricorn that used to be serving everybody else. You are going to be here building foundations by yourself. Look at this. Because you're stepping into your Empress energy. This is your Empress era, whether you're feminine or masculine. This is your Empress or your Emperor era. Look at this. This could definitely be the year that you find love. Absolutely. The King and the King of Kings and the Queen of Queens. They both showed up here. All right, we've got Leo, Virgo, Pisces, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. We've got more Pisces energy. Scorpio and Capricorn. We've got a lot of fire energy here. We'll call it Aries, Sagittarius, Leo energy. All right, all right. Aquarius. Let's find out what's going on with you, Aquarius, in the next 7 days. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Aquarius. What are some of the things that Aquarius can expect to come up in the next 7 days? Tell me about Aquarius. We have the 2 of Pentacles. I think you're catching your balance. It feels like something may have been moving too quickly or something was out of balance. I'm going to say you're if you are building a business or if you are having a hard time financially, or it feels like this is the week that you finally start to get your balance or get your stability, because the Queen of Pentacles is showing up, plus there's 3 Pentacles here. To me, this is the place where you finally get your good foundation. It starts to feel like things start to feel less wobbly because the Queen of Pentacles just walked in the door. The one who is planning things, the one who is taking care of their health, time, effort, energy, money, being very efficient with all of those things. Look at all these pentacles here. Feels like you, my friend, are making decisions about money, decisions about time, effort, energy. Where am I spending my time and who am I spending it with? I feel like you are, I'm just looking at the Page of Pentacles here. Look at that. Look at that face. It's kind of like, what can I let go of? Because it feels like you are looking at your life in terms of maybe financial burden. Do I really need that subscription? Maybe it's time for me to go through the things that I don't really need. Should I sell that motorcycle in the garage that I haven't ridden in a couple of years? It feels like you are going over things and you need to cut ties with people, places, situations, money, things of value. It feels like you could be having a garage sale or you could be selling things. It feels like it's time for me to really look at who I'm giving my money, time, effort, and energy to. It feels like some really big decisions. The Devil feels like you feel trapped by money or the time or the effort, the energy you give to other people. The Page of Wands is here, and I feel like it's almost like this little spark that's within you. It's like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to go round and round like this anymore. I don't want to be told what to do. I don't want to be the sure thing. I don't want people counting on me. It feels like maybe you've picked up codependency, or you're tired of being the person who gives the handouts or the money, or I'm always going to be there when you need me there. I feel like it's like a monkey on your back is what it feels like. It feels like something's attached to you, and you just don't want that anymore. It's like, how can I pull my energy back? Because we've got the Queen here, we've got the 2 here. I'm finally getting my stability, and then we've got, how can I say, no, I'm going to show up at your party, but I'm only going to be there for 30 minutes because I got another thing to do. It feels like you are no longer going to be giving out freebies. That's what it feels like. Tell me about the 2 of Pentacles. We have the Page of Swords. Yeah, it really does feel like you're learning, or you're going over something with a fine-tooth comb. I'm just going to say it does feel like it is it's like your future depends on it, but it feels like I need to set myself up for the future. I need a future, and if I'm going to get a future, Three of Pentacles is here, now it shows up here, I'm going to need a foundation. I feel like for some of you, this could be in terms of your community or your friendship group, the people that you would consider to be partnerships. These are not people that you are in love with. This is not romantic energy. It feels like practicality. So it feels like this Ten of Pentacles is, who am I really going to keep in my life for the long term? Who really is building that foundation with me that's giving me cooperation and collaboration? Who are the people who matter to me, or the foundations that matter to me? Which ones are they? I think the Page of Swords is the one, is the one that is always going through things with a fine-tooth comb, right? That's the one. The page is always the one that's observing, is always the one that's learning. I'm sort of digging for things. It feels like somebody's digging into their finances or digging into their personal relationships. It feels like you are looking at releasing yourself from anything that is holding you down, or you deem holding you down or binding you here. Tell me more. It's almost like this Three of Pentacles is the place where you like to live because people don't have expectations of you there. Emotional expectations, swords like communication, expectations. It does feel like you are going to be letting go of things. You're going to be releasing things. And I think you're also going to be looking at, who really would care if I was on the ground with the swords in my back? Like, who is behind me and who is in front of me? Who can look me in the eye and who's behind my back? That's what I need to figure out. So it feels like you are looking at ending your codependent relationships, anything that's toxic. I feel like it's about drama too. Like, I feel like you're a practical person, Aquarius. You're very practical. And if you got drama, you got baby daddy drama, you got baby mama drama, you got money drama, you got drama you create, I'm just not going to have part of that anymore. I don't need your drama. My life is drama-free. It's very practical, very organized. I know where my money is. I know who my friends are. Like, I feel like whatever brings you drama, I don't think you're in favor of that. I think you're releasing it or letting it go. Because a lot of people will only stay in your life because you're the person who listens to their drama. We do have the Lovers. I feel like you are, that you have a lot of people that you've chosen to be in your life, or they've chosen to ask you to be in theirs. And it feels like that you are somebody who has been betrayed, or people who have betrayed you. I think those are the relationships you're breaking. That there are people that I feel that you've grown close to, but you don't trust them. And so I think that you are just going to release them. Yep, put up your walls. Watch your back. I'm going to say, I think you're supposed to watch your back. You've got people in your midst that I feel are people who, to your face, are in the Lover's energy. And when they're behind you, they're holding a sword. I'm just going to say, be careful. Watch your back. Because the Seven of Wands, this person is protecting their back as well as watching the people in the front, right? Not everybody that cheers for you is your friend, right? I'm just going to say, because the Six Wands is people cheering you on, but you're sort of watching your back with the last wand here. So I feel like you're supposed to watch your back and make your decisions wisely, because not everybody that's being kind to your face is going to be kind behind your back. We have the Ace of Wands, and that's going to send you off on a new path. I feel like you're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel more excited. It feels like you're moving forward. 8 Wands is here. You're moving forward from all of this. You're making these decisions, watching your back, and moving forward. Tell me what the outcome is, please. Yeah, it does feel like a week where you're really getting things. You're really looking at the practicality of your life with all these pentacles here. This earth energy, Virgo, Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn energy. You're really looking at the practicality part of your life. The outcome is the Three of Cups. Yep. It feels like you're going through the friends list, or you're going through your phone book, or you're going through your phone list on your phone. It feels like you are going through your the people who you go out with. You have a lot of acquaintances, but I don't know that you have a lot of friends. And I think that you are letting go of whatever's holding you down, whatever this is. Because I feel like a lot of people like to have you around. Look, if there's an Aquarius in the room, I'm going to find them and talk their face off, because they're always going to teach me something. And I feel like this is really heavy for you. I feel like you show up to things because you feel obligated to do so. But I think that that's weighing heavy on you. And I think that this is the year that you have decided that you are going to release some things. I don't think you want to carry around the happy face. It's going to cause a tower for a lot of people. It's going to cause a tower. It's going to cause a shift. And I feel like it's a shift that you will welcome, that you do need. It's like you're just going to let it fall down behind you and walk away from the rubble like the Joker. Yeah, like the Joker who walks away with the smoke in their mouth. Everything's blowing up behind them. That's what it feels like here, Aquarius. You're like, no, I'm not doing this. I don't really care if it falls to the ground. I'm releasing it. It's not mine. I'm not coming to your party. No, no thank you. I'm not doing that thing. I'm going to do what I want to do. We've got the Hanged Man around the corner here. I think you're putting life in a pause for a moment. We've got the Ace of Swords in the reverse. You might keep to yourself and not talk to people. And the Six of Wands is here. I feel like you are... I want to say that you are in this place of coming out of a dark night of the soul. And I want to say the dark night of the soul is a place where you are figuring yourself out. That you are in this dark night of the soul for a purpose. And that is to find out how to walk around or feel your way around in the dark. To know who you really are when the lights are off. It's the only place that we... Look, we all talk about the stars, but we don't... The thing we don't remember or realize is that you need to be in the dark in order to see the stars. And so I feel like maybe you've hit rock bottom and you roll over on your back and you're like, oh, there's the beauty. It's in the stars. It feels like you no longer need the group around you to cheer you on. It feels like you get the best use of your own time when you don't speak to people. Ace of Swords is in the reverse. I feel like you're trying to get clarity, but you don't get it from outside of you. I think you're getting it from inside of you because the Hanged Man is here. You're trying to get really clear with your intuition. So you're in a pause, trying to figure out your perspective on life. What am I going to do in 2026? It feels like a time where you're really trying to figure out what you can do without and what's confusing you, what's overwhelming you, what's overloading you. It feels like you have been holding back here just a little bit with the Strength card. Because you don't want to do any permanent damage. Why am I saying that? Because Eight of Wands is here. You don't want to move too quickly. It feels like you don't want to make a decision too quickly where you hurt people. But I feel that's why I feel like you're holding back before thinking about it here with all of this. That's what's around the corner. I think that you're kind of sifting through in your mind's eye about who belongs in your life and who doesn't. That's what it feels like. And in the next 7 days, I feel like you're going to do this. And then after that, I feel like you're going to start making cuts. We've got Leo energy, we've got Aries, Sagittarius, we've got Aquarius energy, we've got Piscean energy, we've got a lot of Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn because we have a lot of Earth energy here. Scorpio is here, Sagittarius, Cancer energy, and Leo. All right. And last but not least, my water family. My two fishes friends, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter, my friends. Let's find out what's going on for you. Pisces, what's coming up in the next 7 days, friends? Tell me about Pisces. Tell me about Pisces. Knight of Cups. Tell me why the Knight of Cups is here. Got the Four of Swords. So I feel like you are being very slow moving and strategic about something. It feels like it has something to do with the heart space and you need some clarity on that. So you're not moving forward here. It feels like you're trying to heal the heart, heal your emotions. Somebody here is moving really slow, very strategically. It's the King that's laying on its side. I'm just looking at the chessboard. I think the King was surrounded. Yeah. The King is laying on its side here. I feel like you're trying to get some sort of answer in the mind's eye here. The Knight of Swords is here. And we have the Nine of Pentacles. Pisces, it really feels like you are trying to find the confidence to say something to someone. It feels like there is something that's been going on emotional that's very strategic. It's very passive, moving slow. It feels like there's a slow growth or a slow burn. It feels like we're slowly getting into this place where we trust each other, where we can be confident that the things that we say, that you can trust the things I say are true. Gemini energy here. It feels like when we have conversation, I want you to be comfortable with me, or maybe I want to be comfortable with you, confident that the things that you mean what you say and you say what you mean. It almost feels like there has been something that's been growing like incredibly slowly, like at the speed of molasses in January in the cold. You know, it turns into like a hard candy in the cold. It feels like it's moving super slow. But I think that there's something here that you're about to become clear on. Something that possibly you've been fighting yourself in the mind. It might be how you feel about someone or how someone feels about you. I feel like somebody is trying to gain their confidence. That's what's been taking so long. Either you or somebody else has been trying to find their confidence to say something. Tell me about this Knight of Cups. We've got the Justice card. We've got the Hanged Man. And we've got the King of Swords. It could be a Libra, a Gemini, or an Aquarius, Pisces, possibly. Somebody is trying to figure out how they feel about something, trying to get a perspective about how can I still have what I want in terms of the heart space, but how can I keep myself in balance as well? It feels like somebody here is trying to look at something from every possible angle, to see if there's any possible way that I can stay healthy in a healthy mindset, that I can keep my balance, I can keep my harmony, I can keep perspective. Somebody's really taking a really harsh look over their lives to see if they have any time, effort, energy to be able to give some emotional energy to someone else. I feel like there's already a connection that is unspoken, I'll say, because Pisces is here. Pisces and Cancer and Scorpio. There is an unspoken connection going on here when we see each other, when we talk to each other. It is a feeling. It feels like there's a really emotional feeling between us, but the words that we give each other are very benign. They're very clear. They're very social. Like it seems like it's not emotional. It's very surgical. And I think it's because somebody here, maybe you, maybe them, somebody here, what's the most important to them is keeping their balance or keeping the harmony in their life. They want to keep in balance. And that's why they're moving slow to try and figure out or get a perspective and be really honest, truthful with themselves about the facts. Do I really have the time, the effort, the energy, the money to spend with this person? Because if I don't, I'm not going to say anything about my feelings. But I think that there's an unspoken connection here, that we both have feelings under the surface and we know it. Yep, there it is. Ace of Cups is here. So it feels like we both know, 2 cups, right? We both know that there is feelings here. We've shared maybe little tiny tender moments. Maybe you know something about them no other people know about them. Maybe you've had a small private conversation with them and they've revealed something to you. But the thing is that the pearl doesn't happen in the oyster by chance. It's when something irritating gets into the oyster, and then it's like it tries to cover the grit or whatever debris gets in the oyster. It tries to cover it, and it covers it with something, and it keeps covering it, and then it finally gets big and polished. I'm going to say that this is something that is growing, but it's growing at the speed of snails. Yeah, it's growing at the speed of snails. So the Queen of Swords is here and the King of Swords is here. And this is not a romantic match. This is 2 people who are very intellectually matched. They talk to each other. They're very clear, very honest. You know, I'm honest with you. You're honest with me. I trust you. We're starting to build trust slowly. But it does feel like there is an undercurrent of emotions here that we haven't quite named as romantic or not. I just know that I'm connected to you in a way that keeps building. It keeps building, it keeps getting bigger, and I feel like there is about to be a reveal, is what it feels like with the Ace of Cups. There's about to be a reveal that all this grit and stuff that's been irritating under the surface, we're about to reveal that there is some sort of feeling here. Somebody's about to be honest with their feelings, but in a very practical way. Of course, because we got the King and the Queen of Swords here. So somebody's about to be very honest with their feelings, but in a very practical way. So I don't know what that means to you, because the person that you're dealing with is different than the next person. So the Three of Pentacles is maybe we belong to the same community, or maybe we belong to the same class or the same ball team, or we only see each other every once in a while. But it seems like somebody here is going to make a little bit of a step forward to connect with you in a more emotional way than usual. And you're hard pressed to get the Queen or the King of Swords to connect in an emotional way. They tend to deal with things that are practical, logical, and the Queen of Swords is never going to say anything that offends you, but is also going to be very honest at the same time. So Three of Pentacles tells me you guys have already built some sort of a foundation. It seems like you're friends, or you know each other, or you have the same friends of friends. Like it feels like you know each other, and you've gathered at times. I've got to be really honest about my feelings. That's what I keep hearing in my head. I've got to be really honest about my feelings, that I feel very attached to you. I can't stop thinking about you. Someone keeps thinking about you on a loop. It feels like I'm obsessively thinking about you. And I use that word lightly. It's not like a terrible obsessive thing, but the devil is not letting anything go. I'm attached to you. I can't stop thinking about you. And I'm trying to be logical. I'm trying to be balanced. I'm trying to get perspective. I'm trying to be logical and practical about this whole thing, but I can't stop thinking about you. So although I don't think anybody's going to tell you they haven't stopped thinking about you, I think they're going to try and logic their way out of this, but I don't think they can the next time they see you. I feel like somebody here is going to inadvertently, and I'm going to say inadvertently because the King and the Queen of Swords are here, inadvertently they're going to reveal something to you that's going to show you that they do have feelings for you. And it probably isn't in words, because I think somebody is scared they're going to fall off the bike if they say too much. Tell me about the outcome, please. Pisces, we've got the Queen of Cups, we've got the Five of Cups, and we've got the Three of Cups. Okay, so look, it feels like this is a social situation or a social group. It feels like the Three of Cups is when we get together, we celebrate. So this could be somebody who always ends up at the party that your friend throws. Or we're getting together this weekend. Do you want to come by? So-and-so is going to bring so-and-so. It feels like we don't see each other all the time, but it also feels like, you know, the Friends situation, like the TV show Friends, right? It's weird when two people within the friend group end up dating, because then it changes the whole friend dynamic. That's what this feels like. The Three of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, the Five of Cups, and the Queen of Cups. That's what it feels like to me. It feels like, but what if it doesn't work? It's going to break up the whole friendship. It's going to rewire the whole social group. And I don't really know if I'm willing to get into that. So the thing is that the Queen of Cups is here, and there's some pretty seriously deep feelings here. So I think that somebody is really thinking over whether they want to say something out loud or not, because I think they're showing you in little gestures, but I don't think it's in something they say. I think it's in something that they do, an action that they take. It feels like it's an action, and it's something that they do that they don't realize they're doing, because, you know, it's like bringing you a drink without you asking for it, or opening a door, like running up ahead of you and opening a door for you, or, you know what I mean? Like it feels like something they don't expect, that you'll see as a gesture, but it is a gesture. Around the corner, we have the Four of Wands in the reverse. We have the Tower and the Magician. So it does feel like somebody is going to say something. The Tower is shifting everything and creating change. It's creating transition or transformation. Because the Magician showed up on the Ace of Cups, and the Magician has all the aces up the sleeve. The one that they're choosing to use to begin their new cycle is the Ace of Cups. So the Four of Wands in the reverse, this person realizes that they might crash and burn the whole social situation, that it's going to be weird for the social friends to see us as a couple. Maybe we won't tell them right away. Four of Wands is in the reverse. Celebration, fun, stability, right? But this is also going to the next level on the wobbly legs, because the Tower's here and it's shifting everything, because somebody is making a decision to create a tighter connection, a romantic connection. We've got the Knight and we've got the Ace of Cups here. So it's like we are finally going to tell each other about our feelings, but maybe we won't tell everybody else. One more card. We've got the Hierophant, because we're kind of serious about each other. It feels like somebody's serious about you, or you're serious about somebody else, and somebody's intention is to pursue what they want. The King of Wands is here, and the Seven of Wands is here. The Four of Wands. I feel like somebody here, instead of blocking you or blocking you out, I feel like somebody here is creating a way that we can cross over this emotional place here and get some stability before we surprise everybody else. The Page of Cups is here. It does feel like somebody maybe might say to you, you know what, it's in the social group. Can we just, I'm kind of serious about it. It's going to shift everything. Can we just keep it under wraps for a little bit? Let's just not freak everybody out at the same time. Maybe we'll pull them away one by one and tell them at certain times and say, don't tell the next person. It does feel like it's hush-hush, but it doesn't feel like it's hidden. I don't feel like this person is trying to hide you from anybody. I think that together you decide that you don't want to freak out the friendship group or the community or whatever it is. And it doesn't feel like it's a connection that is not supposed to be, but it feels like it's something that could possibly rock the whole situation we have with our friendship group or our soul tribe. That's what it feels like. So we have the Queen. We have Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. We have a lot of water here. We've got Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We've got Capricorn here. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Scorpio is here. We've got Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, Libra, Pisces. All right. I'm going to leave that right there. Thank you so much for being here and watching. I do appreciate you, Pisces. You know I love you. Thank you if you made it up to here, all of you. I appreciate you. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back because I'm always back. You guys have a beautiful weekend. Bye-bye.